programme. Michael Bolton, the Steel Bars. It's going to be a great afternoon at Dunfanaghy Golf Club. Let's go over to Greg there in the team. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, Marty. Thank you very much indeed. Yes, indeed. We are broadcasting live from Dunfanaghy Golf Club. It's for the Ronald McDonald House Golf Classic, and the Ronald McDonald House has obviously great ambitions with the eventual opening of the Children's Hospital, and this is an important fundraiser for them. We'll find out about the work that they do, and that and so much more besides. Our Friday panel's in front of me. Don't forget, that's all coming up after we get the latest news headlines at 9 o'clock, and it is over to Michaela Clark.
Thanks, Greg. Good morning. Leaving cert results are down this year due to grade deflation. 65,000 students are getting their results at 10 a.m, over 2,000 of them in Donegal. But the class of 2025 got fewer top grades, down by around 2%. Just over half of this year's students.
Okay there. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. No problem.
Out grade inflation brought in during the pandemic. Education Minister Helen McEntee says deflating some grades is the fairest way.
There's nobody whose mark has been reduced in any way, shape or form. What you have, yes, is a lower increase for some students, but we still have grades that are at a much, much higher rate than they would have been pre-COVID. And the reason that this reduction, and it's a very gradual reduction, it's a very small reduction, is taking place is that we have to get back to pre-pandemic levels.
It's been revealed children who required an assessment for disability needs in Donegal have not been seen within the legal timeframe so far in 2025. Under the Disability Act, children are required to be assessed within 6 months. Donegal is one of 9 HSE regions in which this right has not been upheld to date this year. Latest figures contained in the Irish Independent show 14 children required an assessment in the second quarter of this year. 0 were completed. A psychiatrist who took up a job working with children and teenagers in Donegal, despite giving an undertaking to the Medical Council not to practice in Ireland due to fears about his suspected misuse of controlled drugs, has been found guilty of professional misconduct. According to a report in the journal, a fitness to practice inquiry by the Medical Council found a series of allegations proven against Dr. Syed Zubair. Tara Duggan has more.
A medical council inquiry concluded 53-year-old Dr. Zubair from Pakistan failed to disclose he already had an agreement with the medical council that he would not practice medicine in the Republic during a job interview in September 2018 for a post as a registrar with Donegal Mental Health Services. Dr. Zubair had given an undertaking not to practice in May of 2016 after the regulatory body had been notified of concerns his patients might be at risk as a result of allegations he was intoxicated or under the influence of substances while working in the acute psychiatric unit of Roscommon University Hospital. He worked with CAMS in Donegal between March 20th, 2019 and July 5th, 2019. A solicitor for the Medical Council said a sanction at the upper end of the scale was warranted in the case.
Finally, for weather, mostly dry today with just a few isolated light showers. It will, however, be rather cloudy overall with limited bright or sunny spells. Highest temperatures of 17 to 20 degrees. That's all from Highland Radio News for now. We'll be back with news again at 10 o'clock. Until then, good morning.
Want to hear some good news? Ireland's first bulk reverse vending machines are being rolled out across the country. Want even more good news? This means you can return more plastic bottles and cans in one go, so you can do more for the environment and your community with every visit. Perfect for initiatives, charities or groups who might need to return a lot at once. For more information on the reverse vending machines in your area, visit return.ie.
And now, it's time for the talk of the Northwest, the 9 to Noon Show with Greg Hughes on Highland Radio.
Yes, indeed. Hello and a very good morning. You're very welcome along to the 9 till noon show here on Highland Radio. It is a special show as we broadcast live from Dunfanaghy Golf Club here in, obviously, Dunfanaghy. It's a beautiful setting. I'll tell you, there's not a breath of air. And I would say that's very rare to be teeing off here with no wind. I see our own Kenny Harkin away out playing golf now. He's teeing off at 9:10, accompanied by the CEO, Sean Quinn, while we're all here trying to earn a crust and keep you entertained. But anyway, that's how the other half live, and we're happy enough with that. Listen, come here, stay with us for the next 3 hours because we've got lots coming up. They are hosting the Ronald McDonald House Golf Classic here today, and it's to raise funds for Ronald McDonald House. Many of you listening would know exactly the function it provides, and it's really, really important. It's a great help to families going through very difficult times with their young people in their lives. We'll hear more about the work that they do and what their plans are for the future, I suppose, especially with the eventual opening of the Children's Hospital. Right, our Friday panel's in studio with me right now. I'll introduce them after I invite you to get involved in the conversation. 086 60 25,000, that's the WhatsApp and text number. That's all business as usual. They come straight to us here in Dunfanaghy. You can give us a call on 074 91 25,000, or if you prefer, email comments@highlandradio.com. And if you want to watch the show, all our guests in studio, as you can imagine, go onto your smart TV or your Fire Stick. We're on the YouTube app, Highland Radio Ireland. We're on the X platform, Highland Radio, and across our Facebook pages as well. Let's say good morning to our guests, Magella McFadden, manager of the Creasla Community Association Links Hub. Good morning to you, Magella. Thank you so much for calling over.
Thank you, Greg. Good morning.
A wee short jaunt for you.
Yeah.
Not too bad at all. Okay. Councillor Michael McClafferty, who's Cahirlock of the Glentees Municipal District. I'm not sure I've spoken to you since you were elevated to that position. Congratulations and good morning to you.
Morning, Greg. Thank you, and good morning, listeners.
Okay, and also we have John Seamus Sofari, Sinn Féin councillor in the Glentees Municipal District. Good morning to you.
Morning, White Greg.
Thank you so much.
To be here.
No, it's great to for us all to be here, I suppose. Magella, lots of kids getting their, or young people and adults as well, getting their leaving cert results today. It's probably feels like the biggest day of their lives ever, and I suppose, as we know, as we get older and move a little further away from that age, we realise it's perhaps not quite as significant, but a big, important day. Any good memories for you?
You know, look, it's that long ago. I'm trying to forget, but look, it's a huge day. It is a huge day for the kids around the county and around the country, and I just want to take the opportunity to wish them all well. And it's not, I would like to say that it's not the be all and end all. There are so many other opportunities out there now, so many avenues that these kids can take. It's daunting because some of them will be moving cities now, maybe moving to other countries, depending on the results that they've received. But I would just like to wish them well, and hopefully the kids that took their grinds down in the community hub in Creasla will be successful as well.
That's one tick for the hub. Okay, yeah. That was already mentioned. Yeah, indeed, and we're lucky in that compared to when I didn't do my leaving, sir. I left before that, but there are so many alternative options now, in fairness to the government, to sort of find the career path that you really wanted to go down on. What kind of a student were you, John Seamus?
I was very intelligent.
What went wrong? No, I'm only joking.
No, I did enjoy attending school. I didn't miss many days at all. Coming to exam time, there wasn't much pressure.
So it did come kind of easy to you, did it?
It came of easy to me. Probably I didn't feel that the exams were that important as they are today. There's a lot of pressure on young people today to get results, to get into colleges, and, you know, the mental fact there as well, all the time. And you think of 5 years, it's when you attend school, and this is the final outcome, that you get your exams, and to get a good job in Ireland today is pretty hard. Like,
it is, but the one thing I've noticed, and it's speaking often to tradespeople, is the ones coming behind them. You know, I'm chatting to carpenters, mechanics, those who work on stuff like lawnmowers and boat engines or whatever, and they're looking around going, well, who's coming through now? It's all been about IT, it's all been about, you know, these highly skilled jobs, which is a nonsense phrase really, because, you know, some of the work that we're talking about here, you really need to be incredibly skilled to do it. But I do wonder if there's going to be sort of a practical, if that's the right way of putting it, sort of work gap coming through.
Yeah, well, I think there's not enough apprenticeships happening at the moment in relation to electricians and carpenters and stuff like that. We have a housing crisis here at the moment, and it's very difficult to get people to come into the building industry. I know myself that my son has immigrated to Glasgow. There's very little people from Donegal, youths heading to Glasgow now looking for work, and as you mentioned IT, but the general work that was happening years ago and which is still happening today is in development of housing and other areas, that it's all young people geared towards, as you said, Greg, towards the IT.
And even something like electricians, a lot of electricians are pivoting to solar panels and wind farms as well, because there's big money in that. Councillor McClafferty, what's your memories of school?
Memories of school, I wasn't a very good pupil at school, to be honest with you,
Thankfully, I found
Greg.
someone I've got something in common with.
Oh, yeah, and I don't have a leaving either, Greg, so me and using the one boat as such. But yeah, to be fair, I did struggle with school. I did generally struggle with school, to be fair, Greg. Got through it as best I could, like same as yourself. But like I say, like yourself, I'm in that boat as well. Just left early and didn't do a leaving. Obviously went into construction. That was the sort of work going at the time. Followed on then shortly by quarry work for a long time, which I really enjoyed, machines and stuff. And look, as John says, my jealousies, there is plenty of opportunities. You know, even, look, first of all, congratulations to everybody today that's doing their leaving certs, getting their results. Hope they all do well. But even if everybody doesn't get to the exact points that they want, it's not the end of the world. There's plenty of avenues to go down.
Yeah.
There's different routes now. It's different to the time that we were going as such. You didn't have those avenues, but you have today.
Yeah. Talking of building, we were speaking yesterday about developments in the Milford electoral area, and given the fact that there's an ongoing hose ban pipe there, there's concerns over the water supply in parts of the Glenties municipal district, obviously the rest of the Letterkenny Milford district, and even up in Ishone. You know, we're talking about having people to build houses. I'm particularly concerned, and I'll stay with you and then work back the other way. I'm particularly concerned at the lack of water infrastructure, and you know, Irish Water have the veto on new connections. You know, with the best will in the world, that's going to be and remains, our biggest hindrance to development.
Oh, absolutely, Greg. Going forward, it is. For sure, and that's shining through at the minute, because we have a situation in Falkirk at the minute that myself and John and our other colleagues here work closely on, but myself and John mostly, and Dennis here because we're beside it, where we have 30 houses in Falkirk at the minute just basically sitting in no man's land over Irish water restrictions, and the way it is at the minute, I think it's fair to say, John, that there's a good chance those houses may not continue on, which is very sad, to be fair. Over Irish Water, but the way I look at it, Irish Water's to get full control now, apparently, before Christmas time from Donegal County Council. They're supposed to have it signed over complete to them. It's up to Irish Water to the difficulties for Falkirk, Christian and Dunfanaghy, put in that.
Yeah, but what's the plan though? That's the problem, right?
Yeah, so but they don't have a plan. That's what I'm saying. Like, they don't seem to have a plan, but they refuse at the same time, Greg, to meet with myself, meet with John, meet with our 4 other colleagues, and sit around the table in the Glenties MD to see how things are going forward.
You get one meeting a year, isn't it? Effectively, one formal meeting?
3 to 4.
3 or 4, okay.
3 to 4 that they agree on, but it's only a box-ticking exercise.
Yeah, so if we can't connect to the water system, how are we going to provide the housing that's so desperately required, John Seamus?
Well, it's absolutely ridiculous. This company cost 880 million to establish. The infrastructure we have, and there's no long-term planning at all. When you think of the infrastructure that's in the area we're talking about, Falkirk and Gweedore as well, the pipes are in the ground for the last 40, 50 years, and there's no plan for pipe replacement at all, which is a big issue. Because they're in for 40 years, there's breakages or bursts every few days in the Falkirk and Gweedore area. A few years ago, and this started in 2008, regarding a new sewer system in Falkirk. That still hasn't progressed, and there was a contract given out in 2016. To date, nothing has happened. We were waiting for a foreshore licence. It was going to take 18 months. So judging by that, it'll be 2030, 20 years behind since this project will be finished. Again, as my colleague said, Michael McClafferty, we'll be meeting them shortly on the 10th of September in Donegal town. by the way, and not in our own municipal district. And we're given an hour and a half to discuss issues. We have to put the questions in beforehand. I have submitted a number of questions to Irish Water. To me, it's Irish Dribble they should be called. But at the end of the day, they're not investing. And as Michael said, they sit around the table, listen to us, box texting, exercise, and that's it. And I did have a question in relation to the government funding that was recently announced for infrastructure and water. How much of that money is coming to Donegal?
But even you need a plan, and there doesn't seem to be a plan. I mean, it could be, you say it's Irish Dribble, it could be Irish Where's the Water, because half of it is treated and we lose it. Did you want to come back in there before I go to Magella, Michael?
Yeah, thanks, Greg. Well, as John says rightly so, look, the bottom line is here, whether it's Donegal or some other county, Irish Water need to sit down round the table with the councillors of the day and their local areas, Greg, and see what's happening on the ground going forward with the councillors, with the people. Like we will fight hard for it here at the minute, but we cannot stand back in 30 houses get lost in Fulcara. Actually 29 houses and a group care home, to be fair, to be exact about it. We cannot let that happen. And Irish Water, to be fair as well, should not be allowed either to get away with that. But at the minute they are, because they're failing to meet with us. So as John says, we're meeting them now on the 10th of September. We'll see how things goes that day. I'm not hopeful of very much coming out of it, but because, as I say, it's a box-taking exercise that day, but I really do believe they need to come a separate day to Fulcara or the Glenties MD, meet with ourselves, meet with our TDs, meet with our senators, and meet with the general public as well, and let the public know what's going on.
Yeah. Well, I'm told too that sometimes even if you have specific questions, the answers aren't specific, that they can be grouped in and sort of general.
But in relation to the planning, Greg, they developed a pump house there in Ardsbeg, to the tune of maybe 2 to 3 million. That has not worked effectively since the day it was built. There's always problems with it, and when that is down, the whole parish of Clyneely is down, which is not good enough.
Well, I know some of the councillors put up the water outage notifications, and I was going to go down that route in my own Facebook page, but they're so frequent. Yeah. And then there's such a lack of update that you put something out there, and then it's when the water comes back on that you get a further update, and it's not good information or useful information to share. And I suppose Magella McFadden, you and I are on the receiving end of this, and our families, the two guys here are councillors and they're battering away with Ishka Erin and all that, but it's we're going to see the depopulation of the county if we can't build houses for our young people. And I'll just ask you to come a little bit closer to that mic, if that's okay. It's a worry, Magella.
Well, look, we're very fortunate that we have the likes of Councillor McLafferty and John Hamish that are speaking up for us. What I can't understand is how these people are unreachable. We can't get them around the table. Creasla, fortunately, we don't seem to have the problems that the Ardsbeg, Gweedore and Fulcara areas are having. But it's about communication here and getting these guys around the table. And again, I can't understand why this is so difficult.
Yeah. Well, when it was under the auspices of the council, there's people you could contact. These guys could get answers to questions. You could sort of maybe try and influence plans and stuff. But now, our own local authority members get one meeting a quarter, and a lot of them come out of it not satisfied with that meeting. I mean, that's troublesome.
And it seems to be a common occurrence, perhaps. If our councillors can't get these meetings, then what hope to the general public have? Yeah.
Okay, we are in the company of our Friday panel. It is Councillor Michael McLafferty, Magella McFadden and Councillor John Hamish O'Ferry. We'll be back with more from them and your comments as they come in to us after we take this break.
The 9 till noon show with the Northwest Truck Fest this Saturday and Sunday on Neil T. Blinny Road, Letterkenny. Gates open to the public at 4 on Saturday and 11 a.m. on Sunday, with proceeds to Cancer Care West.
Fest 2025 returns to Oakfield Park this September 6th and 7th. 2 days, 2 stages, one unforgettable weekend. Enjoy live music, incredible food and drink, and glamping under the stars, all in one of Ireland's most spectacular settings. Saturday, live and original, featuring Wet Wet Wet, Boney M, Racy, and the Whistling Donkeys. Sunday, Legends Reimagined, with tribute performances to the Eagles, Blondie, Springsteen, and more. Tickets are going fast. Get yours now at oakfieldpark.com.
Since I switched to Hidden Hearing, I can hear it all.
You could save up to €3,000 off invisible hearing aids. Save when you switch to us, upgrade, or save on your very first hearing aids. Pre-phone 1-800-370-000. Switch and save at hiddenhearing.ie. You should go to the hearing experts. T's and C's apply.
Roll on more full trolleys for even less with Lidl Plus. This week, you could spend just €86 on a full trolley worth €117 and save over an incredible €30. Push your savings further with new offers on the Lidl Plus app every week. Scan, pay and save with Lidl Plus. T's and C's apply. See Lidl.ie/Lidl Plus savings.
At Blue Poppy Dentistry and Orthodontics, we specialise in creating confident, natural-looking smiles through expert composite bonding. Doctors Anna and Lydia combine precision and artistry to reshape, refine and refresh your smile with stunning results. It's just one of the many ways Blue Poppy puts your smile first. Call us on 07491203555 or book online at bluepoppydental.com. Blue Poppy Dental and Orthodontics, Letterkenny and Donegal Town, where smiles shine brighter.
Enjoy family fun this Sunday at the Northwest Truck Fest on Neil T. Blinny Road, Letterkenny. There's live music, trophy presentations and a truck convoy through Letterkenny Main Street at 5. This ad is sponsored by Cranford Store, 9155633.
Highland Radio Time Checks brought to you by EirGrid, the operator and developer of Ireland's electricity grid. EirGrid, powering up communities, powering up Ireland. The time is...
The time now is, where is the time? It is 9:20. Could you turn them down a little bit for me if you don't mind, please? Thank you. A caller says H1s account for 11.7% of grades compared to 14.3% last year. Is it fair that this is known in the media before the kids have the results at 10 a.m? I don't see how it impacts them, to be honest with you, because it is a nationwide average over, close on 70,000 students. I take your point, but I think it's no harm. It's an indication. Greg, every one of the houses in rural Donegal could have rainwater harvesting. We put it in last year. Nobody should be waiting on Irish Water to do anything. They are a profit-driven company who'll try and cut costs at every turn. Just one brief thing on that before we move on. Magella McFadden, manager of the Creeslough Community Association Links Hub. I mean, if you look at trends in rainfall, and I'm on about the climate, not the weather. This idea of us catching rain on the surface of the ground and then pumping it around the place, it's not going. I don't think that's going to be successful into the long term. I know Irish Water are looking at other ways of doing it, but it rains very little in Portugal and Spain. Lots of listeners might be familiar with it, yet there's no shortage of water. We need to do things differently, do we?
Well, I can only compare it to Australia, and when it rained there, it did rain, but not for much of the year, and they use these rainwater tanks, and I don't see why that would not work here, Greg, and why we're not supporting the infrastructure around that and providing grants and funding towards the rainwater tanks. This country, it rains most of the year.
Well, we are going to have to think of different ways. What do you think, Michael McClafferty?
Yeah, absolutely, Greg, 100%. Well, at the end of the day, I've said many times to Irish Water, we can start by at the minute our reservoirs that we have at the minute, either refurbish them or make them bigger, or if they can't do that, build brand new ones. That'll be a good starting point. But at the minute, that's all falling on deaf ears. Nobody's taking that on board. They're not listening, because we seem to have a situation at the minute. We're probably the wettest county in Ireland, to be fair, when it is raining. We're probably certainly the wettest country in the EU, I would nearly imagine, when it's raining. And yet we have all this rain falling free out of the sky, and the powers that be can't think outside the box. You know what? We should be trying to capture all of this, as you've alluded to yourself, Majella's alluded to, with the water tanks. So I do believe, first of all, going forward, capturing it, going forward, making our reservoirs bigger, will certainly be a big help to start with, because we see these days with Ard's Beg at the minute, and I know there's some people in Falcara this morning without water as we speak, on the outskirts of Falcara there, as from last night, due to as John talked there about the Ard's Beg plant giving problems. That's giving problems because the reservoir going into is not big enough to capture enough of water. So when that happens, then the plant itself knocks off then, the computer system of the plant knocks off then, and it's not as handy as just hitting the switch again, flicking switch and back on. There's a whole sequence of events that you have to go through. So, like there, for example, probably Cloghaneely is the biggest, alongside Newton, maybe, to be fair, and his own, will be the three biggest areas in Donegal that are affected by water. And our situation down here, the majority of it, Greg, alongside the bus, is the reservoir is not big enough.
Yeah, okay. We learned during the week that 0 fines have been issued for dog littering in County Donegal. It's the same right across the country, really. Less than 100 across all of the various areas. John Hamish O'Ferry, Sinn Féin councillor in the Glenteese Municipal District. You know, this is a blight on our county. It annoys people. It annoys everyone. It annoys particularly, walkers, people out with kids, people pushing prams, people in wheelchairs, visually impaired people using sticks. And it very much looks like we don't take it seriously. Who's responsible for it? Is it dog wardens? Is it the council? Is it Gardaí? And is it not time we got tough on it? There's no deterrent.
Well, it's the council, the litter warden and the dog warden that's implementing the fines. Again, as you said, Greg, the fines are very, very small that were given out to people. But on a daily basis, we have a huge amount of people using the beaches, even in our streets here, Dunfanaghy, Falcarra, Letterkenny. There's dog fouling non-stop. And as you said, there should be probably, and we in Glasgow there a number of weeks ago, I was over, my son has 2 dogs, and I was given doggy bags when I go out with a walk with them. There's bins already on the street to put your bag in after you dispose of it. And I think it's a huge county, Donegal, and if we are to implement this, we need to employ more litter wardens or dog fowl wardens within the area, and have the fines probably increased.
No, we have zero. There's zero enforcement.
Yeah, zero enforcement.
So one would be a 100% increase. That's a sad state of affairs, isn't it? Magella, McFadden, it's so unnecessary. And we're talking about a tiny minority of dog owners. This is the crazy thing, right? The majority of dog owners love their animals. They'd almost wipe their bums, and I don't mean that badly, right? But they're so fond of their animals. This is a small group of individuals that do not care or less about other people. They don't make a connection between, what their dog is doing and the impact it has on other people.
That's right. I would say that enforcement is challenging. I think putting more dog wardens on the ground, I don't think is going to make a huge difference. And the reason I think that is that just to identify you have to be there when the offence is committed, identify the owner and bring that all to the courts. I don't think that's going to work. We had this problem.
Can I say why it might work, though, right? Is that, say, for instance, we're discussing this, and I was able to say 700 fines were issued last year. You're not going to get everyone, but if there was a level of enforcement, it might, maybe those people, if they think possibly someone could see them, it might change their. I'm not contradicting you, but I mean, I would like to try it before we sort of say, nah, that's not going to work, if that makes sense.
Okay, but we have that at the moment, and it's not working. So I would go back to Creasla again, where we had the problem in the past.
Yeah.
Fairly significant problem. But we erected signs. We talked about putting bins in place and the bags. But then you come to the issue of who's going to clear these bins, who's going to look after that. Do you leave it to your community members? We have a Tidy Towns committee that take great pride in the village, and there's been a huge improvement over the last number of years in the village, and I think that's down to the community itself looking around, being vigilant, and the dog owners just becoming a bit more aware that yes, they are being watched, people are looking out, and they're taking a bit of pride in their community. So I think it's a community-driven, community-led initiative that needs to happen when it comes to dog fouling.
Okay. A caller says it's a matter of entitlement. They may believe that the rules don't apply to them. The mindset is often tied to a broader lack of respect for public spaces and community. And are these the same people that will park in a parking space reserved for someone with a disability? Do they not care about the world beyond themselves, Michael?
Yeah, that seems to be the case, all right, Craig, to be fair. I suppose, look, there's a number of things can be done here. First and foremost, whoever is owner of the dog out walking the dog, obviously your dog should be in a lead. You should have your doggy bags, what just John alluded to there, to have in Scotland. As you know, I work in a shop, and to be fair about it, we ain't selling many doggy bags, to be fair. It's terrible, that's the way, but that's the way it is. Mm-hmm. And you go out to the footpath, then there are messes here, messes there. Times I see it myself. I go out, I just go back in and get a pair of gloves, whatever. I go out and lift it and throw it in the bin for the sake of keeping things tidy, but also for the sake of, as well, Greg, and the more serious matter, the disease as well that's caused by dog feces toxicoris as such. That, for example, small children, if they happen to come in contact with their hands, whatever, and goes from their hands then to their face, to their eye, it can cause blindness. And I do wonder, like, there's a lot of dog owners not realise that's what the danger they can cause or the danger they can do. Like, we live in a small seaside village here, Dunfanaghy, same as Chrysler, pretty much same as Falcara. But I see there on a daily basis from the shop window, you have a lot of wee toddlers, small children up to maybe 4 or 5. Some of them these days now start to be about in their tricycles, their prams, obviously mum or dad pushing them, an odd one there with their go-karts and so on. They're not conscious of what's dirt's lying on the footpath as such. They're bringing that then back home and can accidentally make it their way then into their houses, to their homes. But we just appeal to all, when you're out with your dogs, have your doggy bags with you and lift the mess. Also as well, Greg, the county of Donegal, we have approximately, I understand, maybe up to 30,000 dogs. And we have only 2 dog wardens for the county. I understand there's counties in Ireland smaller than Donegal, much smaller, much less population, clearly much less dogs. They have up to 4 dog wardens.
Yeah, okay, so, I get you. I don't know why we don't have more. But a problem we have, John Hamish, is that we tend to avoid putting infrastructure because we don't have any plan to maintain it. And I'll back that up with an example. There's many beaches around this county, Merva, Rossnala and others, that there are no bins for dog waste. And is it the fact that we're not putting the bins in for no bins for dog waste is because then we don't have a plan to empty them? Who empties them? Because it looks terrible, right, when the bin's full. And I've seen bins where there's dog poo sitting on top of the bin because the bin is full. And I do wonder, and it's the same with, we've seen bins coming out of towns because it seems that we don't have a maintenance plan for them. And that's terrible, really, isn't it?
Well, Greg, to be regarding the council collect bins on a Monday and a Friday. Yesterday I had an issue in Gidor, and they're lifting the bin today. But you're 100% right. But there's 2 issues in relation to the bin. It's the council that collects them at the beaches, and when we do leave bins out, it's only enticing then other people for illegal dumping regarding bins as well.
But how do they deal with that in other countries?
How do you deal with it in other countries? This is Donegal.
Yeah,
and it is an ongoing issue. Illegal dumping is huge in the last number of years, but Donegal County Council has been addressing this, and they've been issuing a number of fines as well.
For what?
So for littering. Illegal dumping. But in relation to the beaches, yeah. We need to employ more. We have huge influx of tourists coming into the country or into our county as well, using our lovely beaches. But there should be facilities there.
Okay.
Well, but the pressure is employing people to pick up the dog fouling, employ more people.
Yeah. A caller says, can you ask why there are no bins at Merva Beach or any beach? I took my dog at the weekend and absolutely nowhere to put the poo bag. Go into Inchwalk anymore because of dog fouling. You can't go in there, they say. There's no bin at the beach in Falcara, but one in Dunfanaghy. Why might that be? Another, no fines for dog fouling and no fines for e-scooter uses as well. We don't know the stats on the e-scooters because that's a roads policing issue. Those stats would come from An Garda Síochána. Another texter says, morning Greg, I live in Newtown Cunningham, always walk my 2 dogs there every day. There's a lot of dog poo on the pavement. There is dog bags lying on the side of the road. I would imagine if they had dog poo bins, people would dump the poo bags at the side of the road. What I don't understand is that when someone gets down on their honkers, cleans the poo, puts it into a bag and then chucks the bag into the ditch. I mean, that beggars belief. Okay, keep your texts coming into us, 08660 25,000. Call us 2107491 25,000. More from our guests and more of your comments after a quick break.
The 9 till noon show with the Northwest Truck Fest, taking place this Saturday and Sunday on Neil T. Blinny Road, Letterkenny. Enjoy live music both days, family fun, the spectacular truck convoy, and so much more.
If you're aged 59 to 70, we will invite you for a free HSE bowel screening home test. Screening can help find signs of bowel cancer early, before any symptoms show, making it easier to treat.
Planning a celebration? Discover the brand new Lily's Restaurant at the Mount Errigal Hotel. A stylish new space with beautiful surroundings and your own private bar. Perfect for birthdays, communions, anniversaries and more. Book now at Res Diary or call 074 912 2700.
It's the Right Price Tiles wood flooring and bathware 70% off sale. Get up to 70% off all your purchases. Up to 70% off all tiles, all wood flooring, all bathware. Everything's reduced in store. The 70% off sale at Right Price Tiles wood flooring and bathware. Stores nationwide. Sale now on.
By taking the bus, the train, walking or cycling whenever you can, you're playing a part in helping to reduce Ireland's transport emissions. To help you on your way, this year over €1.6 billion is being invested in public transport nationwide and over €1 million a day on our walking and cycling routes. This has helped more people than ever to access more sustainable transport, because wherever you're going, your journey counts. Visit gov.ie/your journey counts. Brought to you by the Government of Ireland.
Enjoy an afternoon of free live music this Saturday at the Letterkenny Busking Festival. Singers, musicians and other entertainers live along Main Street from 1:30 to 3. See Letterkenny Busking Festival on Facebook for details. Letterkenny Town Centre, alive with music this Saturday the 23rd at the 10th Annual Letterkenny Busking Festival.
Are you female, currently unemployed and looking for a new career in construction? Rural Enterprise SkillNet is delighted to announce the next Women in Construction programme commencing September 22nd in Letterkenny. For more information or to apply, visit ruralenterpriseskillnet.ie. Closing date for applications is September 4th with interviews on September 5th. This Rural Enterprise SkillNet programme is co-funded by the Government of Ireland and the European Union.
Don't delay when you get your bowel screening invitation. Call us today on 1800 45 45 55 or visit bowelscreen.ie. From the HSE.
Okay, you're very welcome back to the 9 till noon show. We're broadcasting live today, by the way, from the Ronald McDonald House Golf Classic. The main sponsors is iMotors. It was due to take place last month. It was deferred for a month, and my invitation to play was deferred indefinitely for some reason. I was lined up to play, and then no one wanted me to play anymore. Whatever happened, I don't think I fell out with anyone. But it's okay. I'm not upset about it, Michael. Don't worry. I don't need a hug. That's the worst part of it, carrying bags. Imagine. Magella McFadden, how close an eye are you keeping on the presidential election? Do you have someone in mind? You know, and I don't even think really it would necessarily indicate what your political allegiance were, if any. But, you know, who for you, if you've come on someone, so to speak, do you think would be a good successor to Michael D. Higgins? Or do you see anyone there that sort of maybe inspires you to an opinion?
Well, to be honest, Greg, politics was never a strong point of mine now, but maybe in the last couple of years, having worked very closely with Michael and John here and our elected representatives, I'm learning. But I definitely won't throw in here and say that I know exactly what I'm talking about. Look, I still don't think there's enough names in the race. I've had a look. I don't think there's enough names in the race to make any sort of fair conclusion. I think I know who I wouldn't vote for.
Yeah, okay.
But we'll leave that aside. And President Higgins, you know, what a powerful man, and some boots to fill there. Who could fill those boots? I don't know. Maybe Jim McGuinness.
Yeah, I know. And you know what? I think really your answer is quite telling, because you would hope that even for people that are non-political, that this is sort of like a crossover election, so that, you know, I think arguably if we had 5 or 6 in the field, it might make it more easier for you to select one, because it wouldn't necessarily be aligning with some political leanings that you might have. John Hamish O'Farrell, yours is an interesting dilemma, right? Because I mean, I presume you'd prefer a Sinn Féin president. We don't know who even the nomination or the contestant might be. Would you like to see Mary Lou McDonald hand over the reins to Pearse Doherty and enter the presidential election race?
Of course. I know the presidential election, it's a bit early to talk about...
no, that's a strategy of Sinn Féin. You can talk away about it.
To talk about bit early. But Sinn Féin will be sitting down in the next few weeks to discuss the presidential
What's your
elections.
view, though?
My view would be, I think Mary Lou, Michelle O'Neill, Pearse Doherty, excellent candidates for president.
Do you see any danger in Mary Lou McDonald potentially... running an unsuccessful election, for an example? What impact might that have on the party? The ramifications.
I think Mary Lou would run a successful campaign if she were to go forward. Again, like I said, there's no decision made by the party, Sinn Féin party, in relation to the presidential election. If we don't run a candidate, we'd be looking at supporting somebody on the left. As Magella alluded to there, we don't know the candidates.
So what would your preference be, a Sinn Féin candidate or the party backing a candidate of the left?
Well, I would be going for a Sinn Féin candidate.
And who would you prefer that to be?
Probably Mary Lou.
Really? Okay, interesting. And you don't believe that would have potentially, as I say, she would run a very good campaign, I'm sure. But if it were unsuccessful, you don't believe that could have an impact on the party after a, relatively lacklustre last couple of elections, albeit record-breaking for the party?
I don't think so. Sinn Féin is a party that bounces back. We have some great TDs in Doyle at the moment in the opposition. And I would be saying, Michelle O'Neill's talked about as well that she could throw her hat into the presidential race as well. Michelle's doing fantastic work, and as Mary Lou, I think she's a fantastic candidate if she were to go forward. And we'll just have to wait and see and what the members come up with. Are we going to put forward a candidate or not? And again, we're a party with Irish unity, so we're looking at that as well.
Councillor Michael McClafferty, who would you like to see as the next president?
At the minute, Greg, it's too early to say, to be honest. I've no preference.
That's a problem, isn't it? We should be. I mean, I know it's November, isn't it? Or when is it, Caroline? November or September? Huh? November. Should we not have more of a idea of who we want? This is not a criticism, it's just an observation, and I think yours is maybe a lot of people listening are indifferent to it.
Yeah, they probably are, to be fair, but I suppose at the minute, because I see the early days, that's why I don't want to say either. I don't want to influence people's minds one way or another.
Why not? Come on.
No, because up to themselves, but I would like to see when the full line.
I can understand John Hamish being a little
bit
bit evasive, but you've no excuse.
I don't know, but I would like to see who the full lineup is, and then take it from there. Then, to be fair to everybody, at the same time, I wish all the candidates well as Magella.
Well, we only have one at the moment.
Well, yeah, but it's we just want to see how the.
Mary McAleese came. I'm being a wee bit facetious, I suppose. But Mary McAleese was a very late candidate, a late entrant, and then went on to be, for some people, one of their favourite presidents. Not for everyone, of course, I recognise that. So, it might be in the likes of Fianna Fáil, Sinn Féin, or other people to come to the fore later in the campaign, because you can see now the level of scrutiny Fine Gael are getting and others by maybe putting their name in that so early. So it's probably not a bad wee strategy to wait. Is it time to get tough on deer? Almost 8,000 were culled last year in this county alone, or the last figures I had, I think that was 24, it could be 23, but anyway, 8,000 culled last year, and yet still they cause collisions and other inconveniences, and we see it very much around this area we're in at the moment, but right across the county. We don't hear of all the cases, but, these are big animals. They cause serious damage to vehicles, great shock to people, people avoiding them or trying to avoid them. We've a few signs, but, you would have thought if we're culling 8,000, we'd be sort of getting a handle on the problem. I'll start with you on this one, Councillor John Hamish O'Farrell. What do you think we need to be doing that we're not doing?
We need to be coordinating it far better than we are at the moment. When you're driving along and you see a deer lying on the side of the road probably killed by a vehicle. Has that been reported? We don't know. The council come along then and pick it up. You mentioned signage there. When you leave from the bottom of the N56 in Gidor, Tillion Chairman, there's only one sign regarding deer, and I did raise this with the council on a number of occasions to have more signs erected in the areas that are prone to deer where they're crossing the road. It's a huge issue, and we're looking for this for quite a number of years now. We're very vocal in this in relation to the deer population. We don't know how many deer population we have in the county.
So we don't know if 8,000
so we don't know how 8,000 or 20,000 or
40% or 80%. We have no idea.
We don't have a proper count of the deers. And again, the number of accidents that happen, again, I would appeal to drivers when they're out there using the road, or road users, to think about deer, because you never know. Go around the corner, there's a deer jumping up, 3 or 4 of them. We don't think about that. When I'm driving to
so just in relation to that, though, our roads are going through their habitat.
Yeah.
I mean, we often say, let's kill more of them, or let's do this, that, and that. Is it a case that we have to take more responsibility to try and reduce the risk alongside a culling programme?
Yeah, I totally agree, but the culling programme needs to happen as well, because we're getting huge amount of deer. Glenveigh National Park, I know that they're coming from the park and they have fencing and everything, which doesn't work, because they're already here in the west of the county and other areas of the county as well that's infested with deers. Again, the deers attack crops, and farmers are up in arms about this as well. So I think that going forward, the culling, a number of listeners will be here today saying the poor animals, but we have to tackle them rather than a road fatality caused by a deer. It's important that we try and cull most of the deers and make our roads safer.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they are big, beautiful animals, but unchecked, the numbers grow incredibly quickly. I'll come to you, Michael, in a second. I want Majella's views on this. So you and I are just really road users, I suppose. I haven't really encountered many deer, but I can't allow that in any way to frame my opinion, because I know what other people's experiences are.
Well, I mean, look, whilst I agree there is a problem, I'm from Ards myself, and Ards is inundated, and we know where they are. We know the time of year to be mindful and watch out for them. So I would be saying, look, culling, I know from speaking to the rangers through Glenveigh and for National Parks and Wildlife, culling is one thing, but the method of culling, I don't agree with. I don't agree with it.
That it becomes like the fact that it's going to be a sport for some, really, effectively, isn't it?
For sure. And then you also have the element of the illegal poaching as well. So there are other alternatives, Greg. I think, first of all, there needs to be clear signage that John Hamish alluded to here. We need to have clear signage. Maybe a reduction in the speed, like the speed zones, take it down. We know where they are. And in other countries that they've shown that in studies in the UK and in Ireland, the culling does not work unless it's continuous and at a large scale.
And you also have to target the right animals at the right time.
Yes.
There has to be a science to it. There's no point killing young bucks.
No.
You have to kill those that might be...
Or you're killing the stag, you're killing the doe, and then you've got fawns that are orphaned, that are going to die eventually. You've got the way they're culling at the moment, if it's not done correctly, these animals are having long, slow deaths. So no, I don't agree with that. There are alternatives, and I think motorists, we do need to be vigilant. There's another, they're called deer whistles. You can put them on your car. So if you're in areas such as Ballymore, Creasla, Ards, Dunfanaghy, wherever, and you know these hot spots, these are like €12 or €13 on Amazon.
Never heard of them.
Deer whistles.
Never heard of a deer whistle.
So they emit a sound, and this will
it deters them.
Yeah,
it annoys them.
Yeah.
All right, okay, that's very interesting. Councillor Michael McClafferty, I know you've raised this issue a couple of times, sort of independent of this conversation we're having now. What do you believe could or should be done?
Yeah, well, Greg, firstly, anyway, like Majella says there, I like the deers as much as everybody else, but I respect the fact as well that they have wreaked havoc, as John alluded to there. They have wreaked havoc for farmers, to smash fences, to destroy crops, whatever kind of crops going, wheat, potatoes, silage, everything like that, everyday stuff that you get. They have done thousands of damage on farmers all through the place. They are dangerous. There've been a lot of cars smashed around here.
So rather than sort of, and this is just for the conversation purposes, so rather than sort of saying, right, farmers, you need to make sure that your land or your crops are secure, we shoot the deer.
Well, Greg, we've no choice at the moment. We're overrun with them all through the place. We've no choice but shoot them. But in saying that, shooting them as well is one thing, calling them is one thing. But like as I've said before to yourself and to other journalists, I believe in whoever's out shooting, shoot to kill, one shot, one kill, that's it. And if need be, like I said before, people can think as mad as they want, but they may have to do this yet, and it may come through this calling programme yet. We need to get in the likes of snipers, the army in, that really know what they're doing. It's like a hunter said to me one day, and I wasn't aware of this. He says to me, you know, do things right. He says, there's certain bullets you need to use, and this is right. I said, I thought they all use the same bullets. No, not exactly.
Right, I'm just kidding, because Magella winced at the idea of the army snipers coming in.
No, no. Well, you know, I definitely don't agree there. If you're calling on the likes of this, can we sterilise these animals? You know, it's a dart as opposed to a gun, and calling in snipers and wiping out what's native, by the way, to our country. The red deer is native to this country.
Yeah, but to be fair, I don't disagree with Magella's point either. But to be fair, they were introduced here back years ago into Glenveigh through John George Adair. I don't believe they were in Ireland and do that as such. They're all through the place now. National Parks and Wildlife have to come into the conversation here too. They have a big responsibility as well, Greg. A lot of the fencing, 40 kilometres of fencing in Glenveigh, a lot of that is tumbled down. That it wouldn't keep in a cat at the moment, never mind keeping a deer. It is all tumbled down. There's no effort that I can see anyway, particularly if you go out to the Glendowen direction.
Yeah, but then with all that, why is it the deer that has to pay the price then? Well, if you know what I mean, if it's down to us or our lack of infrastructure or fencing, because I mean, if we've killed 8,000, do we triple that? I mean, I think down in Cork, or I think it's Cork, is it? It's one of the Corks or one of the W's. They did 60,000 deers in a year, like.
Yeah, well, I looked quickly last night, just before I went to bed last night. I just googled it quickly. For 2024, over 74,000 deers was reported shot, like, at that time, killed at that time. So that's a hell of a lot of deers, like. So it just shows the vast impact of the deers that we have here in Ireland. To be fair, like, and particularly in Donegal, there must be a serious amount here.
All right, John Seamus.
Yeah. But going back to the snipers, there's a lot of professional hunters out there regarding culling animals. And going back to Magella's point in relation to, you know, the modern technology today, the era we live in, regarding the high-toned whistle, I'm sure that they should bring in something or look at something in relation to a high-pitched sound that would chase the deers away. That's another aspect you could look at.
You see, the problem is we're kind of coming at this from doing nothing, really, at the moment, and we're going straight to the soul. Is that a deer? No, it's an airplane. Why is an airplane landing here? Is there...
There is a small...
Is there well, okay, that's encouraging. There's a small plane landing, but there is a landing strip. Thank you for your local knowledge. I nearly ran out. I don't think Paul McGinley would come in that little thing. No, I think he might come in a big black helicopter. We are live here from the Dunfanaghy Golf Club. Is it a sport you've ever played, Magella? Or is it like, what is it? Someone said it just ruins a good walk.
No, I would have to agree with that too. No, I've never played it. Look, I tried it, but
wasn't for you.
Not for me.
John Hamish, what about yourself?
I'd done 2 weeks down in Gweedore and
tried it for 2 weeks.
Tried it for 2 weeks, and there was more divots than I could hit the ball. So
I heard you were offered a job excavating. Is that true?
That's true. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Michael?
No, sorry, Greg.
Well, what do you do first to wind down then? Do you know?
Me?
Yeah.
I like walking. I just walk basically.
Yeah, what about you, John Hamish?
I play darts on a Thursday
do you
night.
Play
it's
darts?
my free.
All right, very good.
I take 2 hours off or 3 hours off.
Do you know your average?
Relax. Average. It's all over the board.
Is it? And what about you? What do you do, Magella, to chill? I know I'm asking in the context of these people out here, and I suppose sometimes you look at them and you wonder, do they enjoy it? But what do you do to relax?
I love to get out in the water.
Yeah.
I love to get a bit of kayaking done when the weather suits. And
I was out in a kayak yesterday. Yeah. Beautiful.
Oh, it's
there's something
great.
about it. I don't know what
there's
it is about the water.
Yeah, there's something about the water, so that relaxes me.
All right, okay. Listen, thanks so much for calling over. I don't think you've had to travel a great distance, but it still is very much appreciated. We do really appreciate your time. Councillor Michael McClafferty, thank you very much indeed. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, Greg. Thanks for having me.
Councillor John Hamish O'Ferry, Sinn Féin Councillor in the Glentees Municipal District, thank you so much indeed as well, and safe back. And last but certainly not least, Magella McFadden. Thanks, Magella. Okay, that was the Friday panel. Loads of your comments coming in so far this morning. I'll get to those and the weather forecast, in fact, as well. But first, we'll take a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere.
The 9 till noon show with the Northwest Truck Fest this Saturday and Sunday on Neil T. Blinny Road, Letterkenny. Gates open to the public at 4 on Saturday and 11 a.m. on Sunday, with proceeds to Cancer Care West.
Have you received a CAO offer from Atlantic Technological University? Or are you thinking about applying for an available place? Come along to our CAO Available Places and Offers Information Day on Friday 29th of August from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on the Letterkenny, Galway City and Sligo campuses. Discuss your offer from any campus. Find out about CAO Available Places and explore the accommodation options. Prospective students, parents and guardians are all welcome. Friday the 29th of August from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Find out more. atu.ie/open days. ATU. Your future is here.
Wheeling bulls break the €6 per kilo barrier. In this week's Irish Farmers Journal, we analyse the bumper trade for weanings this autumn. Record smashed in sheep breeding sales. We reveal how new research could safeguard Ireland's calf exports. Farmers react angrily to critics of rising food prices. Top 5 TAMS investments under €2,000. Plus, in the latest of our Farm Succession series, we detail legal and tax advice and transferring land to your family. Only inside this week's Irish Farmers Journal, on sale now.
Thinking of changing your floors? Why not see what Florid Letterkenny has to offer? Florid have a large selection of solid, semi-solid and laminate click vinyl wood flooring, together with a fantastic choice of parquet, herringbone flooring, all at incredible value. Don't delay. Call Florid today on 087 161 7008.
It's Cabaret 25 at Harvey's Point. We start again on Wednesday, September the 3rd, and every Wednesday until November the 5th. An amazing lineup of stars, gourmet food, the warmest of welcomes, and all in the beautiful surrounds of Harvey's Point on Lough Esk, Donegal town. Book today 074 972 2208 or harveyspoint.com. The Harvey's Point Cabaret, a night not to be missed.
The Northwest Truck Fest rolls back into Letterkenny this Saturday and Sunday on Neil T. Blinny Road. Enjoy live music and a truckload of family fun. This ad is sponsored by JD Recovery Services, Kilmacrennan and Donegal Town, 9139303.
Highland Radio weather updates with McElhinney's. Get back to school sorted with all the essentials from school jumpers to shoes. Visit our kidswear department in store or shop online at mcelhinneys.com today.
Okay, so the weather forecast for today, it's going to be mostly dry today with just a few isolated light showers around. There was a little shower on the way to Dunfanaghy this morning, actually, but it was very fleeting and short-lived. It will, however, though, be rather cloudy overall with just limited brighter sunny spells, highest temperatures of 17 to 19 degrees. Okay, we're very close to the end of the first hour here on the 9 till noon show. I want to thank again our guests for coming up to us. It was lovely to have them in, and thank you so much for all of your texts which have been coming in so far this morning, and I'll get to those after we take a break for the news and obituary notices.
The 9 till noon show with the Northwest Truck Fest, taking place this Saturday and Sunday on Neil T. Blinny Road, Letterkenny. Enjoy live music both days, family fun, the spectacular truck convoy, and so much more.
Injuries happen, illness strikes, but But waiting in A&E doesn't have to be your only option. At Ophidia Letterkenny Minor Injuries and Illness Clinic, we treat everything from broken bones, cuts, burns, infections, rashes and more, with X-ray on site so you get answers fast. No appointments, no delays, just expert care right when you need it. Don't wait. Walk in today or visit ophidia.ie. Ophidia Letterkenny. Expert care without the wait.
Join us for Alzheimer's Memory Walk, supported by Aviva, taking place on Sunday, September the 21st. Let's walk together for the 64,000 people living with dementia across Ireland. Register now for your pack and find a walk near you at memorywalk.ie or call 01 207 3800. Together we walk. Together we remember.
Thinking about what you'll do after your leaving cert. Further education and training could be your next step.
You find your individuality doing a further education course. You learn valuable, interesting skills that you can actually then use in a workplace, and it just sets you up, like particularly just after you're leaving cert.
Find the course for you with Donegal Education and Training Board at donegaletb.ie. An initiative of Solus and the Government of Ireland.
At iMotors, we've been on the road with you for generations. As your authorised Kia dealer, we believe in what Kia stands for: safety, style and reliability. And we're the same, committed to helping you move forward with confidence. Take a test drive and find out why iMotors is your #1 Kia dealer in Donegal. Visit us in Letterkenny, Malin Village or at imotors.ie.
iMotors, fearless generation.
McGowan Hearing, your audiologist experts, now in Letterkenny, Buncrana and Carndonagh. Book your free hearing aid consultation in our clinic or your home across the northwest and beyond with Dara McGowan on 07191 00208.
The Northwest Truck Fest takes place this Saturday and Sunday on Neil T. Blinny Road, Letterkenny, featuring trucks from all over Ireland and a truck convoy through Letterkenny Main Street on Sunday at 5. This ad is sponsored by K&F Superwools, 9139043.
Live, on air, online and on the Highland Radio app. This is Highland Radio News.
Good morning, I'm Michaela Clark with the news at 10 o'clock. It's been revealed that children who required an assessment for disability needs in Donegal have not been seen within the legal timeframe so far in 2025. Under the Disability Act, children are required to be assessed within 6 months. Donegal is one of 9 HSE regions in which this right has not been upheld to date this year. Latest figures contained in the Irish Independent show 14 children required an assessment in the second quarter of this year. 0 were completed. Leaving cert results are down this year due to grade deflation. 65,000 students across the country are getting their results around now, over 2,000 of them in Donegal. But the class of 2025 got fewer top grades, down by around 2%. Just over half of this year's students' grades have been artificially inflated, compared with more than 2/3 last year, in the first stage of phasing out grade inflation brought in during the pandemic. Education Minister Helen McEntee says deflating some grades is the fairest way.
There's nobody whose mark has been reduced in any way, shape or form. What you have, yes, is a lower increase for some students, but we still have grades that are at a much, much higher rate than they would have been pre-COVID. And the reason that this reduction, and it's a very gradual reduction, it's a very small reduction, is taking place is that we have to get back to pre-pandemic levels.
The majority of Fianna Fáil TDs and senators would support Bridey Gallagher to run for president. The former Taoiseach resigned from the political party in 2012 following the publication of the Mahon Tribunal. Fianna Fáil accepted Mr Hearn's membership application to rejoin in 2023. Gavin Riley, political correspondent with Virgin Media, which conducted the poll of party members, says there's long been speculation Bridey Gallagher wants to run for the Áras.
And although he doesn't lead the polls, he never fares all that terribly badly either. And given that there appears to be a bit of a vacuum where there are some people talking about expressing an interest but that there's no obvious frontrunner, we decided to assess the mood of the Fianna Fáil Parliamentary Party just to see how they might stand about a hypothetical Bridey Gallagher candidacy. And what we found is that there is a majority of them who would like to see him on the ballot paper.
A psychiatrist who took up a job working with children and teenagers in Donegal, despite giving an undertaking to the Medical Council not to practice in Ireland due to fears about his suspected misuse of controlled drugs, has been found guilty of professional misconduct. According to a report in the Journal, a fitness to practice inquiry by the Medical Council found a series of allegations proven against Dr. Saeed Zubair. Tara Dugan has more.
A medical council inquiry concluded 53-year-old Dr. Zubair from Pakistan failed to disclose he already had an agreement with the medical council that he would not practice medicine in the Republic during a job interview in September 2018 for a post as a registrar with Donegal Mental Health Services. Dr. Zubair had given an undertaking not to practice in May of 2016 after the regulatory body had been notified of concerns his patients might be at risk as a result of allegations he was intoxicated or under the influence of substances while working in the acute psychiatric unit of Roscommon University Hospital. He worked with CAMS in Donegal between March 20th, 2019 and July 5th, 2019. A solicitor for the Medical Council said a sanction at the upper end of the scale was warranted in the case.
There's renewed calls for additional litter wardens and greater enforcement of fines for dog filing in Donegal. Vision Ireland figures published this week show that 0 fines for dog filing were issued by Donegal County Council last year. Councillor John Hamish O'Farry says the figures clearly show more staff are needed to crack down on the issue. He says other areas are better equipped by providing resources to limit dog filing.
In Glasgow there a number of weeks ago, I was over, my son has 2 dogs, and I was given doggy bags when I go out with a walk with them. There's bins already on the street to put your bag in after you dispose of it, and I think it's a huge county, Donegal, and if we are to implement this, we need to employ more litter wardens or dog file wardens within the area and have the fines probably increased.
Weather now mostly dry today with just a few isolated light showers. It will, however, be rather cloudy overall with limited bright or sunny spells. Highest temperatures of 17 to 20 degrees. That's all from Highland Radio News for now. We'll be back with an update again at 11 o'clock. Until then, you can keep up to date with the latest local news on our website highlandradio.com. Good morning. The obituary notice says for this Friday morning, August the 22nd. The sudden death has occurred of Tristan Cullen, Creva, Carrigard. Tristan's remains will be reposing at the Chapel of Eternal Rest from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock this evening, with removal after to his home. House strictly private at all times. Funeral Mass on Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock in St John the Baptist Church, Carrigard. No flowers, donations in lieu to Pieta House. The death has taken place of John G. Kelly, Bahai House, Old Town at Letterkenny and formerly of New Mills. John is reposing at the home of his sister-in-law, Bridey Gallagher, Green Hill, Letterkenny. Leaving there tomorrow morning, going to Lakelands Crematorium for private cremation at 1 o'clock. Family time please from 9 o'clock until 12 noon. Family flowers only please, donations in lieu if so desired to the Irish Kidney Association, care of Martin McGuyan, funeral director or any family member. The celebration of John's life at Lakelands Crematorium can be viewed on churchservices.tv. And the death has occurred of Daniel Dan Breslin, Gortnaski, Burnfoot. His remains are reposing at his home. Removal from there tomorrow morning at 10:15 to St Mur's Church Fawn for Requiem Mass at 11 o'clock, followed by interment in the adjoining graveyard. Family flowers only please. For family information and more details regarding wakes and funerals, please go to highlandradio.com.
Highland Radio.
Tá an scéim faoise bheith le seomra cias fáil faoi láthair, agus déadfá suas le 4,000 euros a bhliain a heilimh Saor Ó Cháin, trí thomraíodd a thach a ligean cias do bhíc léinn. Tá an scéim seo oscailte do gach duine agus ní bheidh tioncharacha díochaíochtaí leasa ho síalaigh má aontóiad. Tuile eolais sé gov.ie/chuntasig room for a student. Ó Rialtas na Héireann.
And you're very welcome back to the 9 till noon show here on Highland Radio. We are broadcasting live from Dunfanaghy Golf Course, and the course is looking resplendent. If any of you are golf players, you'll know potentially you've played here, but also you'd know it's not often that it's calm here, and it's calm here today. And teams are out taking part in the Ronald McDonald House Golf Classic. This event is raising funds for Ronald McDonald House. We're going to be joined in the not too distant future by Louise Quayle, who is from the Ronald McDonald House. We'll find out where this money is going, what it will go towards, and of course what their plans are in the context of the expansion, the opening, when it does actually happen, of the new Children's Hospital. So we'll hear more about that in a moment. Just want to let you know that Donegal County Council is advising that there will be road resurfacing works taking place on the Glenfin Road between Ballybofey and Brocka today. Stop-go traffic control will be in place to control the traffic, and the works will be from Brocka Village and Glenmore Bridge. Now, ask the councillors what did they do the last 40 years when the council was in charge of water, when there was no Uisce Éireann stroke Irish water. It's a good question, actually, and perhaps one I should have asked. Hi, Greg. If memory serves me well, Michael McClafferty initially joined the protests against the privatisation of our water. Then he jumped ship to Fine Gael and pushed for privatisation of water. Now, his party, or he is partly to blame for the fiasco we have regarding Uisce Éireann. A caller says apprenticeships are often seen as less prestigious options than a university degree. There's a persistent perception that they're only for those who aren't academically inclined. This is what needs to change. Apprenticeship programs, which are primarily work-based, don't offer the same kind of social experiences. Young people are only interested in their social experience. I think, you know, if there is this notion, and this is why you will never hear the words on this program, skilled workers, referring to, you know, those who work in IT or what have you. Anyone who's working is skilled in the field that they're working in. And if you see someone, you know, laying bricks or putting together a roof or fixing an engine, these are all incredibly highly skilled jobs. So we need to break that perception if it persists. Hi, Greg. I don't know what area Michael McClafferty is councillor in, but they're very lucky. He comes across as a very good and hard-working councillor, and is always speaking up for the people. I wish there was a lot more like him. Great show, Greg, as always. Thank you. Caller says bins are not needed on the beach. You take the doggy bags home and bin it at home. But you see, the problem is you're a responsible dog owner, and that is what you do. We're not talking to you. We're talking to those that kick a bit of stand over the poo. Kids running along, gets it on their feet, and mums and dads know exactly what I'm talking about. Staying on that topic, I've noticed the only people using doggy bags on our local beaches are tourists from the UK, where the law is enforced. Nobody local uses doggy bags when they are walking their dogs on the beach. Morning panel, my bin had to be emptied as normal during the week. When I went to bring it back down to the house, someone had emptied their own rubbish into it. Some people have no shame. Visitors should be taking their own rubbish home. It could have been a neighbour either, though. I know where you're coming from, but I wouldn't have the neck to do that. I really wouldn't. In relation to the office of the President, a caller believes the office requires a high degree of respect and moral authority. So far, no one meets that bar, says that listener there. Hi, can you ask both councillors what their view on the credit card issues at Donegal County Council is? Sorry, I didn't get to that. That was my intention. Hi, Highland Radio. In relation to the dog poo topic, people are so ignorant and close an eye to their dog going to the loo. I run a grooming business from home, and clients let their dogs poo at my door in my yard or in my office and look at me in disbelief when I offer them a poo bag, or simply pretend they do not see their dog going to the loo. Totally unacceptable and no manners. Can you imagine going to a dog groomer's and your dog pooing outside and you're just ignoring it? That's remarkable. Should the term for president be cut from 2 to 1? 7 years is long enough. I think 7 years is too long, honestly. If it's that important to roll, then it should be up for grabs far more regularly. Put it into the election cycle. Let's hold the presidential election at the same time as a general election, though. That being said, the Dáil doesn't always go full term, does it? A very well-known person visited Dunfanaghy yesterday and was greatly disappointed in all the old falling down buildings. They would need to start clearing up or they'll lose the tourists. Yeah, perhaps there is a bit of work required in that area, but there's still a lot of very, very popular, vibrant businesses in that area. Back to the presidential election. Nobody should vote any candidate in the presidential election that has links with Fine Gael, Fianna Fáil or Sinn Féin. When you look at the way Ireland is being managed by the government and the opposition, time people started to realise what's happening in Ireland. Good morning. What's the difference between dog poo and horse poo? Who's cleaning up after the horses? Thanks. I think it's about the prevalence of it, though. Yes, I've seen horse poo on beaches, but it's not left, right and centre and in towns and in parks, all over the place. On the issue of deer should not be allowed to go to abattoirs without being tagged. We need to take a national census of deer. It's not rocket science. Also, people drive far too fast in Donegal. Yes, there is a speeding problem. And yes, how can we control a deer population when we don't know the population? It's crazy, isn't it? In the absence of natural predators like wolves, that's the issue. Well, where did the wolves go? We destroyed them. We took away their habitat, and you couldn't reintroduce wolves now because the habitat is not there for them. Are we in generations to come going to be criticised for the destruction of the deer population? I don't know. If we take away their habitat, kill them, who's to say? Another, we can build better fences and leave the poor deer alone. Tell the farmers to protect their farms more efficiently. Humans can be so cruel. Another, studies suggest that culling is not a solution. When a deer population is reduced, the remaining deer have more food available, leading to higher birth rates and a rebound in the population. Interesting insight. What kind of message are we sending to our children by murdering innocent animals? That comes in from Mark. Yeah, indeed. I mean, start talking about culling seals. And many in the fishing industry, might say that's not a terrible idea, but start talking about that and you'd be very heavily criticised, but we seem to be able to casually talk about the destruction of deer, and that's okay. Enjoy listening to Magella. She's very strong. Well done. Yes, lovely having Magella on, and hopefully she can make herself available to us more into the future. Back to deer. Red deer meat is being exported to France for profit, so the deer problem, in inverted commas, is exaggerated. So the exporters make more money. No high-pitched nonsense, as that would affect all animals and humans. Right, okay, lots and lots of you texting in this morning and calling in. Thank you very much indeed for that. I want to get to some requests if I can. Please wish Marissa Gilday from Letterkenny a very happy birthday. That comes in from Yvonne McGinley. Please wish a happy birthday to Bridget McLaughlin in Buncrana from her sister Margaret. Happy birthday to Ciara McGuigan. She's in Lifford. 7 today. Happy birthday, Ciara, from your mum and dad. Please wish Tommy Rosney and his wife Margaret. Margot. I know Margot. Sorry, I don't know where I got Margaret from. Please wish Tommy and Margot a very happy 30th wedding anniversary from Tony and Madeline Porter in Leck Cottages. 38, brilliant milestone. Kenny Harkin was here a little earlier on. He's 40-year married recently, which is a long time, isn't it? Fair play to all. All right, now, just to let you know, before I take a break and we welcome our next guests in, that we are giving away €2,500 on John Breslin's show. It's all part of our mega summer cash draw. Last week, last Friday, $2,500 went to Falcara, not too far from where we're sitting right now. There's still €17,500 up for grabs. $2,500 today, $2,500 next week, and then a combination of two draws totaling €12,500 the following Friday. Now, you can be in all of those draws. It's not too late for you to enter, and we want to make it as easy as possible for you. Tickets are from €10. You buy 5, you get them for €10. You can get 1 for €15. Of course, please only enter if you can do so within your means and have a punt. It could be you. The money invariably goes local, so we'll see what happens a little later on today. So how do you get your tickets? Go onto our website, highlandradio.com. You can buy them there. It's perfectly safe and secure. If you want to give us a ring at the station and make sure you're in all 4 draws and have 4 chances to win prizes ranging $2,500 to $10,000, then give us a call at the radio station, 074 91 25,000, 074 91 25,000. Or if you're about Letterkenny and you want a deal in cash, you can call into the station during office hours. But just to let you know, the window for you to enter all 4 draws is narrowing. Give us a call at the radio station. We'll get you in that draw drum. And that draw will be made live on John Bresson's Around the Northwest radio programme a little later on today.
It's time for Vision Ireland Bingo on Highland Radio.
It's Friday, August 22nd. Playing on a yellow sheet. Reference number is S10. It's week 34. Today's numbers are 43, 48, 25, 18, 64, 47, 33, 26, 67 and 63. Phone your claim to 9104833 before midnight tonight, leaving your name, contact number and the name of the shop where you purchased your book, and we'll call you back the next working day. Get all your Vision Ireland Bingo information at highlandradio.com.
Granny, did you hear what I said?
If you've been saying, what was that? A bit more lately, it might be time to have your hearing checked. At Connect Hearing, we don't just fit hearing aids, we help you hear life again. From tiny in-the-ear styles to Bluetooth connected devices, we fit the best solution for you. Call 074 911 3296. Connect Hearing, connecting you to life.
Join us for a dance with Evelyn and friends at the Station House Hotel, Letterkenny, Friday 22nd of August, in aid of the Alzheimer's Society of Ireland, Donegal branch. Doors open at 9 p.m. MC is the country boy Tommy Rosney, featuring Martin Orr, Hugh McLean Jr., Cass Hunter, and many more special guests on the night.
Back to school at Brian McCormick Sports. Tracksuit bottoms, backpacks and back to school trainers. 20% off Adidas trainers for kids and adults. Click on BMC Sports for your back to school needs. Brian McCormick Sports, Main Street, Letterkenny.
And we're back. Whether it's back to school, back to college, or getting back into the groove, discover Centra's Simple Savers with great offers. Like Kellogg's Cereal Selected Range, €3 each. Capri Sun Orange 10-pack, only $2.50. And Danone Actimel for Kids 4-pack, only €1. Centra. Live every day.
The 9 till noon show with the Northwest Truck Fest this Saturday and Sunday on Neil T. Blinny Road, Letterkenny. Gates open to the public at 4 on Saturday and 11 a.m. on Sunday, with proceeds to Cancer Care West.
Now, you're very welcome back to Dunfanaghy Golf Club. Today, the Ronald McDonald House Golf Classic is taking place. I'm told there's still 2 slots available, actually, 10 past 2 and 10 past 4. They're still available today for a round of golf. It's €150 for a team of 4 with food included. So very accessible for many of you out there today. Prices for 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Hey, wouldn't it be cool if you booked in, got an afternoon slot and come on and win the blooming thing? Right, okay, let's learn more about the club. Anthony Gallagher is club captain of Dunfanaghy Golf Club. Thanks so much for having us. Anthony, how are you keeping?
Greg, you're more than welcome to Dunfanaghy, and you and all your team, you're well known in the county, and it's great to see you here.
Yep, thank you very much indeed for that. And what a beautiful club you have here. I was saying a little earlier on, how often would you get it where you're teeing off in still weather, not a breeze of wind?
Yeah, the regular golfers here will not know what's happening because it's just so quiet.
Probably Sean Quinn's 3-iron when he throws it from
No, we were just chatting to a few visitors that had come today for the round of golf, and some from Downings, and they're amazed that they haven't seen any wind in Dunfanaghy today, which will make it far more pleasant. We've had great weather this last number of days, very, very enjoyable, but we hadn't as quiet as this weather-wise. It's lovely to see it.
I think there's still this perception out there that golf is a rich person's sport, or it's for people from sort of certain sections of society. A lot of that's been broken down now, but I mean, it is a incredibly accessible sport, and you know, we've got an amazing. We've got amazing golf courses in this county alone, not least this one here. But do you think there still is some work to do to sort of get people in who sort of think, well, you know, it's not really for I'm not the type?
Well, golf is for everybody. We're lucky enough to we have a good beginners program here, run by a number of the club members, and we in Dunfanaghy like to see everybody. Golf is very accessible to everybody. I know some clubs may be very hard to get into, but we are more than welcoming to visitors and to new members. It's great to see anybody come in to enjoy themselves and to enjoy the course. What stands out for you about the course here in Dunfanaghy? We're very lucky to have a really good green keepers.
Yeah.
They're here quite a while, and we're also linked up with Paul McGinley and Joe Bedford, who are giving us some direction as well. Dunfanaghy is known for its greens. As Paul McGinley, the golfer, always said, that Dunfanaghy greens are as good as the British Open, and so they are. We're very, very lucky to have the greens.
And he is a fantastic advocate for Donegal, of course. He played quite a lot here, didn't he? And we note too that any opportunity he has, he's involved with quite a few courses around Merver anyway, certainly in here, but also to platform our offering whenever he gets the opportunity on that international stage he has.
Without a shadow of a doubt, we can't speak highly enough about Paul McGinley. He's a great advocate for our club. His father come from up in the town, and it's great to see that he actually played for the club in his youth and matches along with the late Jimmy Brogan, may God be rest him. And it's great to see that our club has been recognised internationally.
There's a resilience to links courses, isn't there, that makes them very accessible all year round for the most part?
That's for sure. Donegal is lucky in the number of links courses that it has. There's countries around the world that don't have even one links course. We're lucky in Donegal. We have so many links courses, and they're in such in good condition at the present moment.
Yeah, for sure. I'm also joined by the lady captain, Daphne Tees. Good morning to you, Daphne. Thanks so much for having us here. How are you keeping?
Oh, great.
Brilliant stuff. This club is, I'm not saying it's unique, but certainly it's very notable how sort of inclusive it is in terms of, you know, men and women. It's a very sort of, by culture, very mixed kind of a group, isn't it?
Yes, we're now structured under the most modern structure that Golf Ireland advocate, which is the One Club. So we have a very good management committee which stays in place up to 3 to 5 years. And that gives us a stability in terms of our operations, in terms of our financial structures, and in terms of our management structures, managing staff and all that other thing, which is a great thing for the staff as well. I wouldn't like to be working for a different boss every year. So separately then, Anthony is captain of the men's section and I'm captain of the women's section, and we're an equal opportunity club. We have equal status in the club. Under the management committee for operational things. And that works very well. We've as well as that, we have, I think, a USP in this area, in that we have a very strong member focus with quite a lot of opens as well for visitors during the high season. And even during the off season, and we welcome winter members from neighbouring clubs, and we're very friendly with our neighbouring clubs.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Sometimes, you know, golf or golf clubs can seem quite cliquey. It's really particularly noticeable around here that it is not like that, whether you're a member, a visiting member, or on holiday, or, you know, travelling from down the country to play.
That's right. In open competitions, we welcome everyone, and we have our open week, and the men have quite a lot of open competitions, and we run particular open competitions like Play in Pink, where we had a very successful fundraiser this year. Also, the ladies, and I'm just focusing here on the ladies' club. A lot of our ladies do not come from the local area. Excuse me, quite a few do, but we would have them from all over the country, north and south, and we're very integrated. It's nearly north-south cooperation. You can bring lots of things into it, but we're a very small, friendly club. And one of the things we have concentrated in the Women/Ladies Club is that we make sure that we welcome, even on the tee lines, you know, that it's open. You play with different people every week. People join you. It's not the same 4-ball all the time. And that creates a collegiate spirit, and you know, it also supports the fact that because we're a small club, we need volunteers. And the volunteers, that's how you bring volunteers into the club.
Yeah, I'll come back to you. Colin Donaghy's the chairperson here at Dunfanaghy Golf Club. And yes, it is small perhaps in comparison to other clubs, Colin. But the facilities, the quality of the course, for an example, this building here, the parking spaces, the green areas, you don't get that impression, you know what I mean? It doesn't come across like a small club.
No, and quite recently we opened a new driving range as well. So we have facilities here which are second to none, and we've encouraged the local community to become involved as well. So for example, we believe that moving forward, part of the future for us are junior members, young people coming through to play golf. So we've linked in with local schools, and local schools now use the driving range. Young people become interested in golf, and that promotes membership for the club and sustainable membership. Now, the driving range is also called the McGinley Golf Academy. So again, Paul McGinley has been instrumental in assisting us in actually driving forward that facility as well. And on the course, as Anthony said earlier, we work with McGinley Golf Design, which their director of agronomy is Joe Bedford. And Joe advises us on the condition of the fairways and the greens, which has helped our greenkeepers to maintain a really high standard of grass across the entire course.
Yeah, and it's one of those sports too, you know, if you get a golf club into, 10 young people's hands and they hit a sweet shot, you know that feeling? You know you're going to capture half of them. Or maybe it's not half, maybe it's more, maybe it's less. But my point is that's the significance of having the driving range, because once they hear that click, and of course it's very accessible now as a TV sport and what have you, you can grab them early and lead them into a life of, exercise, competition, community.
Yeah. And it's no accident that since we've opened the driving bays, our junior section has become more vibrant. And we've actually working closely with Michael McGeady, who's a professional golfer, who's helping both our gigs, our women getting into golf, and our juniors as well. And that's actually promoted, if you like, a bug amongst some of our younger people to become more involved. And we've now got a very vibrant women's section as well. So that, for us, is the future, and will make golf sustainable here within Dunfanaghy.
In terms of, though, structural developments, I mean, obviously, you're always looking at, if a hole needs to be shortened, extended, or green moved, or whatever. But you have a lovely clubhouse here. I'm not sure what is there, like, what are the plans going forward? Is it about people, or are there infrastructural plans as well? Because to my eye, it looks like you've got everything to a T here, pun intended.
Yeah, well, what we intend to do is to develop the course further. And again, that's with the assistance of Paul McGinley Golf Design. And we're going to improve the course from a par 68, which it currently is, to a par 71 within the next year to 2 years. We currently have applied for planning permission with Donegal County Council, and we're waiting to hear the outcome of that within the next week to 2 weeks. And then we will have a
very exciting
fundraising drive. Very exciting time for us, yeah.
And coastal erosion, is that an issue for you guys here?
It hasn't really been. There are a couple of holes further out towards our 8th hole.
Well, you want Paul McGinley . designing the holes, not the sea,
Absolutely, absolutely. And in fact, one of those holes, the 8th green, would have suffered from spray from the sea.
Yeah.
So we're moving, part of the design in the new course is to move that green further to the right, so it won't be affected by that.
Daphne, what would you say to, ladies listening here? And I know women, and it's the same with men, who've been playing since they were, 12 with their dad or mom, but also those that started picking up golf when they've got a little bit more time. Maybe their children are reared, or they've headed off to college. They have a bit more time for themselves. Would you encourage them to have a go at golf, take it up and see how they get on?
Oh, totally. Excuse me, totally. I only took up golf in my mid-50s. And, it's tough when you're working full-time and your family and housework and husbands. They all need maintenance.
Husbands?
Husbands. No, a husband. I'm talking generally here. Well, that's a good one, though. Anyway, you know, and I find that, you know, I've been working with the Get Into Golf programme for the women this year, and it's the same thing, you know, they're ferrying children and they're doing all sorts of things, but it's, you'll carry it with you. It's a great sport to play with your husband. It's, you know, we play golf together all the time, so it's a great way of playing golf with your husband, if you have one, or your partner or whatever, and getting out and meeting people. Yeah. And we really, in Dunfanaghy, focus on the fact that it's not all about golf. It's about the social aspect as well.
Yeah, for sure. And once you lose that, I think you maybe stop enjoying it. You know, it's great to be playing great, and it's great to get your handicap down, but you have to enjoy it.
Our new pro, I can't say enough about him. He's been so supportive with the girls, and they're all doing great stuff.
Anthony, I think it's not just because we had the Open not so long ago, but generally speaking, you know, the golf product, its stock is rising across Ireland, not least here in the Northwest. We need to keep that momentum going, I suppose, so clubs like this benefit and all the other amazing clubs we have. We are blessed, really, really. And I'm not just saying that. I mean, anyone who knows anything about golf listening to this knows that we've got, you know, some of the best countries in the some of the best clubs in the countries in this one county.
Without a shadow of a doubt, Greg, I think we have about 21 golf clubs in Donegal at the present moment. All are welcoming to everybody that comes, and it's great to see people come in from all parts of the world, even America or Europe. We're very lucky to have. We've had some fantastic visitors coming from other parts of the world to here, and they are quite amazed that the wee gem we have here, especially around that bottom part of the course. Just one wee story. We had a couple of Americans here. I met them and invited them here, and they were playing golf down to the 6th, and they stopped playing golf at 7, 8, 9 and 10. They just took pictures. That's all they did. They couldn't believe it. So we
take it for granted, don't we?
We do take it for granted. We have a wee gem here that we should promote far more. And not only this course, but other courses as well.
Well, I think it's clear through the three of you, you have the passion and the talent to get the message out there, no doubt. Anthony Gallagher, club captain of Dunfanaghy Golf Club, thank you so much.
Thank you, Greg.
Daphne Tees, lady captain, thank you. Where are you in terms of your captaincy? Are we in the middle? Are you at the beginning? Or?
I've had my lady captain's day, and we had a very successful away day to our Rosapenna yesterday, and by the autumn we'll have our AGM, and that'll be the year.
Yeah, can you go
it's
again?
It's a calendar year.
Can you go again?
Well, you know,
one would have to be... I don't like how ferociously Colum's shaking his head. This is very concerning.
My response would be, in response to the totally lovely ladies in Dunfanaghy, is that sometimes it's manners to wait until you're asked, but, you know, it wouldn't frighten me as much as it did the first time.
Do you know what? We're talking about captain of the golf club, not the presidency. I feel like we're doing the same thing all over again. All right, listen.
Anyway, that's good.
And last but not least, Colum, Donaghy Club Chair. Thanks so much indeed. All right, brilliant stuff. So I suppose the purpose of that conversation is to try and break any myths out there that, it's like any sport. You need you need some tools, right? But you can get them together handy enough to... and it is very, very accessible. Okay, that was that. We'll be back with more after we take a short break.
Watch the show live now on YouTube, Facebook and at highlandradio.com.
The 9 till noon show with the Northwest Truck Fest, taking place this Saturday and Sunday on Neil T. Blinley Road, Letterkenny. Enjoy live music both days, family fun, the spectacular truck convoy and so much more.
If you're aged 59 to 70, we will invite you for a free HSE bowel screening home test. Screening can help find signs of bowel cancer early, before any symptoms show, making it easier to treat.
Back to school and back to routine, says I to old Mr. Brennan. Alarms ringing, shoes missing, someone crying over a lost copybook. And that's just the parents, says he. But at least a fresh, delicious Brennan's family pan in the morning always goes to plan, says I. A slice of sanity in the morning madness, says he. A crust of calm before the rush, says I. That's why anything baked is better with Brennan's. Today's bread, today.
The hilarious 3 Hail Marys on Grainon Letterkenny, Friday, September 5th and Saturday 6th. Book now on grainon.com.
The club championships continue in Donegal this weekend, and our feature game on Highland Sunday Sport comes from the Intermediate Championship. As Inishowen parishes collide at the Scarvey, it's Buncrana hosting Neve Padraig Ishkaheen. Throw-in time is 2 p.m, and we'll also be keeping tabs on some of the other Round 3 Senior Championship games.
Coverage of the Donegal Club Football Championship is with Highland Motors Letterkenny. Turn heads with the return of the all-new Renault 5, the European Car of the Year, with 410-kilometre range. Available from only €225 per month.
How would you like fresh organic goodness delivered to your door in the Inishowen area? Every Thursday, White Oak's Acorn Project packs up 6 tasty seasonal vegetables and brings them straight to your home, delivery free. It's local, healthy and perfect for families who love good food. Taste the difference today. Order online at theasacentre.com or call 07493 848866. We are here to help. F93 F104.
Enjoy family fun this Sunday at the Northwest Truck Fest on Neil T. Blinny Road, Letterkenny. There's live music, trophy presentations and a truck convoy through Letterkenny Main Street at 5. This ad is sponsored by Cranford Store, 9155633.
Don't delay when you get your bowel screening invitation. Call us today on 1-800 45 45 55 or visit bowelscreen.ie. From the HSE.
Welcome back. We are broadcasting live today from Dunfanaghy Golf Club as we travel around the county a little bit when we can here on the show, given that it is the summer, though we seem to be at the tail end. We're joined in our little studio here in the clubhouse by Aisling Arnold, who is chair of the Donegal branch of the Irish Hotels Federation and general manager of Arnold's Hotel in Dunfanaghy. Good morning.
Good morning, Greg.
How are you keeping?
Very well, thank you.
Of course, you've got a wonderful little new arrival, so you've an awful lot of plates to keep spinning.
Absolutely, but sure, it's positive plates to keep spinning, and it's
Isn't
lovely.
It good?
Yeah.
And thanks so much for sparing the time to come and chat to us. And also Carolyn Murray, Director and General Manager at the Shandon Hotel and Spa. Lovely to see you again, Caroline.
Good morning,
Carolyn.
Greg.
How are you keeping?
Good, thanks for having me.
So how's the tourism season been as a whole, Carolyn? I mean, we're still in it, right? But I mean, how's it fared?
We're still in it. I mean, it's tough, Greg. As you know, like hospitality, it's the cost of doing business has risen significantly. We are, fairly busy. Not as busy as previous years. Obviously, the cost of living crisis and that is definitely affecting our domestic tourists. And obviously managing profit margins, which are quite tight at the minute. But we're doing our best and we're happy to be in the throes of it at the minute.
Yeah, but you, like a lot of hotels, but I think, some hotels stand out more in other ways, is to try and sort of diversify the product, keep things fresh, come up with different initiatives, right? Well, maybe there's a space there where we can promote this, that. Yeah. Like it's constantly coming up with the next idea, I would imagine.
Well, you have to be strategic in rural coastal areas. So obviously you can see Dunfanaghy is a beautiful place. We've so much tourist attractions here in the summertime, and we've had a good summer this year with the weather. But come the winter time, we have to be very, very strategic, and we have to come up with our own tourist attractions, such as our magical Christmas winter wonderland. If we didn't have that, it would be very quiet around these parts in the winter. So that's the concern this year, is that we need to be on the ball in terms of how busy we're going to be, because the cost of doing business has risen.
Yeah, winter initiatives like that, and that one in particular, have proved incredibly popular. I mean, you have a hotel that's, full in the depths of winter. Mm-hmm. Why do you think it's proven so popular year on year?
I think we have worked on the product offering year on year and listened to our customers and what they enjoyed, and each year we've added to the experience and added to the value of the experience. And we like to think that ours is very magical in the sense that Santa comes to the room and he knows the children's names, and then they go down to Mrs. Claus's cabin and she does interactive storytelling with them through the magical winter wonderland walkthrough, Narnia, Candy Cane Lane, and we've different themes every year too that we change up, such as the Grinch was last year, and I'm not allowed to tell everyone what the theme is this year just yet.
All right, brilliant stuff. And in terms of extending the season, the shoulders they call it, I think, do you anticipate that the season will be any longer this year? I mean, some places it seems to run to Halloween effectively.
it's going to be tougher this year because of the cost constraints on our consumer. So we're a bit worried that it's going to be slightly less busy this year, but we're doing our best to remain competitive in the market and to ensure that we're open through all the seasons.
And Aisling Arnold, I mean, obviously as a proprietor, but also as, chair of the Donegal branch of the Irish Hotels Federation, is that the feedback you're getting back from members? What are the greatest challenges? And of course, Carolyn, there's highlighted some of them, but across the sector.
Absolutely, Greg. And I think Carolyn, as you rightly said, has touched on the main points there. The ever-rising costs that we've been incurring over the last 36 months have just made business exceptionally tough. And, that's been felt throughout the entire island of Ireland, unfortunately, at the moment. And it's no secret that we've been, calling for them to restore the 9% VAT. And I think that it's essential that they do that with no delay, as promised, on the 1st of January 2026.
How frustrating is that? Because those who oppose it are using the very emotive topic of gouging from Dublin and city hotels, right? I'm not going to get into whether or not they're gouging, but that perception is there. And that's kind of being used, I think, really as an excuse not to lower the 9%, which doesn't really reflect what some hotels are doing down there, doesn't reflect the hotel experience in this country. I wonder how we can overcome that.
I think that's a very good word used there. It's the perception. And I think, if we look at Ireland as a whole, there's huge value for money out there throughout the season and throughout the year. And I think that's very important for people to remember. I think it's also, crucial that people take into consideration, price increases throughout businesses throughout Ireland over the last 24 to 36 months have been, essential. It's certainly not something that we want to be doing as business owners or managers ourselves. But at the end of the day, we need to keep our doors open. We need to keep employment, and we want to to keep the level of employment that we have throughout the year. And in order for us to do that, unfortunately, we have to increase our prices.
Well, we don't have the footfall that you can stick a $5 on a main course for the crack.
Absolutely not.
That's just the...
And the key for us is, and speaking to restaurateurs, hoteliers, people in business in general, we're really feeling the pinch of this. We want to be competitive. We want to be a place where people come and say they had a really good time, they enjoyed the experience, and it was, they had got value for money. The pressure is now being put back on the business owners in relation to that to be able to sustain that level of competitiveness, which we tried to do. However, as I just pointed out, we can't continue to do that if we're going to incur significant costs year on year, which are being piled on top of us. And then on top of that, our VAT rate is completely out of line with the rest of Europe, completely out of line. So, if you look at the likes of Germany, very recently have just reduced their VAT rate from 18% down to 7%, okay, on food-related services, okay? And the reason that they have done that is because they can see the value that tourism and hospitality have in their country.
But what would concern me if I was a hotelier is the fact that the 9% VAT reduction versus income tax reductions was pitched out. That kite was flown effectively, right? And then next thing you know, there's a bit of a public backlash, and all of a sudden the government's saying, well, we need to have a look at this now. I think that was quite tactical, and I think I don't endorse it, but clever tactics from the government, if the truth be told. But I heard a government rep on recently saying, businesses, if they have to close, they have to close. We can't support every business. We need to, give tax cuts to the people. They seem to have decided that there's this small pot of money that's either tax cuts for regular folk or the 9%. And I don't understand how those two things have ended up being lumped in unless you don't want to reduce the VAT rate to 9%, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. I think it definitely comes full circle, and I think, this is a kind of a never-ending battle, and I think what is essential here is, businesses closing their doors is reducing employment, and it's going to increase the people on the live register, which is something obviously the government are obviously trying to steer away from. So, they need to look at the bigger picture here. The rural villages here, and Carolyn just mentioned this, the seasonality here of this area. We have worked exceptionally hard as two businesses to, remain open year round, and that's to create employment and to allow people to have a stable job year round. And without this, the reduction of the VAT, without the government stepping in to look at the costs of doing business, we're not going to be able to do that. And to answer your question, then in turn is going to have a knock-on effect with that issue as well.
But of course, and the economy in Donegal is different because we have a massive amount of people involved in the hospitality sector. And Caroline, a hotelier told me once that their electricity bill for a hotel, and I was like flabbergasted, and I thought, right, that's a lot of 150s or 180s or whatever the room might cost to pay that bill. And there are costs that are excessively high in this country as well, like electricity, that you have to absorb 12 months of the year. You really do need, I'm sure you would be of the view, some support from the state in staying in business, because if we lose hotels, if we lose pubs, what is our offering? What is the tourism industry on the West Coast?
Particularly Donegal, Greg, because I think we've 8,000 livelihoods that the tourism and hospitality support, and obviously a lot of rural towns and villages like Dunfanaghy, where we employ 145 staff all year round, and that would be a significant impact to an area like this if we had to close in the winter. Thankfully, we won't. And I mean, what people need to understand too is we don't make money in the winter time. We're just supporting jobs. So it's a fine line now for us in the tourism industry. If we don't get the support from the government on all those fronts, it's not going to be favourable. Yeah,
but with all that being said, and to finish on a positive, there's lots of people around. The businesses are doing well, but it's not all are doing well, but it's too hard to do it. You know what I mean? It should be a little bit easier, shouldn't it? And you should feel that you're getting more support to do the work you're doing, supporting those jobs, having that tourism office offering, Aisling.
Oh, absolutely. And I think you're right. Dunfanaghy has had a very busy season, and the weather certainly has really helped that. And I feel that, when people have a positive experience here, they come back, they tell other people, and, we're creating a hive here of, popularity amongst the customers that are travelling here to Dunfanaghy. We're very lucky. I always think myself, if I'm going on holidays, I want to go somewhere that we have, the option of stepping outside our hotel and going to bars, restaurants. Dunfanaghy has it all. We literally walk outside the front door of Arnold's there, and you have so many choices with 5 different bars within the village. We have, restaurants, craft shops, water sports for adults and children. Walk down the road to the golf club here, so there's so many positive things here, and we don't want to lose that. We certainly don't want to start regressing in terms of how we've grown over the last 10 years, and I think that is what's the key message here. We want to remain open year round. We want to create employment as well as retaining employment, and we want our customers to be able to come to Dunfanaghy year round when they feel like it. But in particular, our domestic NI market, they'll hop in the car, come down to maybe their holiday home, and they'll use all of our services. Sure. So it's important.
And because a lot of work was put in to get us to this point, and you certainly don't want. It wasn't always like this, so you certainly don't want to undo it. And finally, Caroline, obviously, this is a beautiful part of the world to go as a destination, but it's a fantastic springboard for experiencing, Donegal, be it, even it's not that far really, I suppose, if you wanted to head to Tory Island, but the west, Letterkenny is only half an hour up the road. You know what I mean? It's a good central location too, and I'm sure you see that an awful lot with your guests.
Oh, it's amazing, and we have some guests from the TBEX conference coming in, and the choice that we had in terms of Crawley Distillery, Glenveigh National Park, the beautiful coastal drives on the Wild Atlantic Way. The choice is so vast that we are finding it really difficult to whittle down a 3-day itinerary. I mean, it's just a beautiful area, as you know.
Not a bad complaint, is it? Okay, listen, anything you want to add, Aisling? I think we've covered most of it, haven't we? I mean, I think really the key thing is that, whilst we have to recognise where the gaps are and where the supports are needed there, I think it's a credit to the likes of yourselves and everyone in the tourism industry here that are keeping it going as it is, that it's so attractive to come here and to eat out and to to party or whatever you want to do, or tour, Okay, Aisling Arnold, Chair, Donegal branch of the Irish Hotels Federation and General Manager of the lovely Arnold's Hotel in Dunfanaghy. And there is a lot going on in Dunfanaghy, and no better place to stay. And of course, just up the road, Carolyn Murray, Director and General Manager of the Shandon Hotel and Spa. That's another side of the business as well, another offering, Carolyn. Thanks so very much for calling in.
Thank you so much.
We really do appreciate your time. Okay, we'll be back with more in the 9 till noon show live here from Dunfanaghy Golf Club in just a couple of moments.
The 9 till noon show with the Northwest Truck Fest this Saturday and Sunday on Neil T. Blinny Road, Letterkenny. Gates open to the public at 4 on Saturday and 11 a.m. on Sunday, with proceeds to Cancer Care West.
For the biggest names in perfume and aftershaves, visit McGee's Chemist Letterkenny. Dolce & Gabbana, Paco Rabanne, Carolina Herrera, Calvin Klein, Jimmy Choo and Burberry, Ariana Grande, Jean-Paul Gaultier, Vera Wang and many more. From timeless classics to celebrity favourites, there's a perfume or aftershave for everyone at McGee's Chemist Letterkenny and online at mcgees.ie.
Ready for a giant summer adventure at unmissable value? It's just a small step away in Northern Ireland. Blast off with family deals at the Armagh Planetarium. Early riser offers at the iconic Titanic Belfast. Dive into history at Ulster Folk Museum. Free for under fives. Explore Carrickfergus Castle on the Causeway Coastal Route. Discover a legend at Seamus Heaney's home place, Balahi. And epic package deals at Lusty Beg Island Resort for Fermanagh. Book now for great value summer offers at discovernorthernireland.com.
Hi, Paddy here at Shane Conley Cars in Donegal Town. Are you looking to upgrade your car? With Shane Conley Cars, you'll find makes and models for every budget. Great finance options, and we also accept trade-ins. Check out ShaneConleyCars.com or call in to us at Shane Conley Cars from Lonaher Road, Donegal Town.
Would you like a holiday? How does a new car sound? Or pay off those bills? Well, get ready for Highland Radio's mega summer draw and your chance to win big. We're giving away €2,500 cash every Friday from August 15th to September 5th. And on the 5th of September, one lucky winner will take home a whopping €10,000 live on the 9 till noon show. So that's 5 chances to win big. Tickets are just €15 or get 5 tickets for €50. Head to highlandradio.com and enter our mega summer cash draw now. Don't miss your chance to make this summer unforgettable. Only with Highland Radio.
Highland Radio weather updates with McElhinney's. Get back to school sorted with all the essentials from school jumpers to shoes. Visit our kidswear department in store or shop online at mcelhinneys.com today.
Okay, so we are in Dunfanaghy here, and it's lovely and mild. It's dead calm. It is overcast, but that's grand. It is going to be a mostly dry day today with just a few isolated light showers around. It'll, however, be rather cloudy overall with just limited bright or sunny spells. Highest temperatures of 7 to 19 degrees. Right, you don't have very long now if you want to enter our cash draw, by the way. John Breslin's giving away €2,500. There's another €2,500 being given away next Friday, then the following Friday, and €10,000 on that last Friday. So 4 draws in total. If you want to be in today's draw and the other 3 draws, please give us a call right now, 074 9125,000. We'll process your entry, give you your number, and that number goes straight into the physical draw drum, by the way, and you'll be able to watch that draw live on John's show a little bit later on. Tickets are €15 individually. You can buy 5, and they're €10 per ticket at that stage, and you can put your own name on 5 times, 5 different names, whatever your choice is. Obviously, only enter if you have the spare resources to have a little bit of fun and be in with a chance of winning 17.5 grand over the next 3 weeks. Our website, highlandradio.com, or as I say, give us a call on 074 91 25,000. Katrina says on Facebook, well done Dunfanaghy Golf Club on doing this event today. My uncle Bernard Hanlon, rest in peace, was a member of this club for years, and he was a very proud member of this club with his many friends doing what he loved, playing golf one of his many hobbies. Lovely. And I'm glad that we were able to trigger such a fond memory for you. And thank you for sharing it with us as well. So there is a golf competition ongoing at the moment, and it is to raise money for Ronald McDonald House. And coming up after 11 o'clock, we are going to be speaking to some representatives of Ronald McDonald House, finding out, where the things are at the moment, the types of services that are available, those that are availing of them, what the plans for the future are, and I suppose too that has to be in the context of the eventual opening of the new children's hospital as well. Right, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to take a break because we're heading towards news at 11 o'clock. We'll be back very shortly.
The 9 till noon show with the Northwest Truck Fest taking place this Saturday and Sunday on Neil T. Blinny Road, Letterkenny. Enjoy live music both days, family fun, the spectacular truck convoy, and so much more.
Highland Bakery brings the magic to your morning tea break. Golden scones, still warm, soft in the middle and impossible to resist. Look for the packet with the rabbit on it. Fresh from the oven to your local shop. 25 years of Highland Bakery.
Your specialty is quality tiles, bathroom suites and wooden floors. Who is the best range of tiles in Donegal?
Crawford Tiles.
The best wood flooring?
Crawford Tiles.
The best bathroom suites?
Crawford Tiles.
5-day bathroom refits?
Crawford Tiles.
And who's been tampering with my questions?
That'll be me.
Crawford Tiles, Castlefin. That'll be them. 07491 43942.
It's Cabaret 25 at Harvey's Point. We start again on Wednesday, September the 3rd, and every Wednesday until November the 5th. An amazing lineup of stars, gourmet food, the warmest of welcomes, and all in the beautiful surrounds of Harvey's Point on Lough Esk, Donegal town. Book today 074 972 2208 or harveyspoint.com. The Harvey's Point Cabaret, a night not to be missed.
I'm Fionnuala Fibre O'Farrell Flynn, racing across the country to keep up with NBI's fibre rollout. Over 50 broadband providers are using NBI's network to bring high-speed fibre broadband to homes across Ireland. So from Ballyliffin to Ballybuffet, homeowners can pick whatever package suits their needs and still get all the benefits of rural Ireland's dedicated fibre broadband network. Connect at nbi.ie.
NBI is delivering the government's national broadband plan.
Another connection. Oh, I knew I shouldn't have worn heels.
Wheeling bulls break the €6 per kilo barrier. In this week's Irish Farmers Journal, we analyse the bumper trade for weanings this autumn. Record smashed in sheep breeding sales. We reveal how new research could safeguard Ireland's calf exports. Farmers react angrily to critics of rising food prices. Top 5 TAMS investments under €2,000. Plus, in the latest of our Farm Succession series, we detail legal and tax advice and transferring land to your family. Only inside this week's Irish Farmers Journal, on sale now.
Don't miss the Northwest Truck Fest this Saturday and Sunday on Neil T. Blinny Road, Letterkenny. Enjoy live music on Saturday from 4 till 8 p.m. with a special sensory hour on Sunday morning from 9 till 10. This ad is sponsored by Donegal Oil. 9121633.
Okay, you are tuned to the 9 till noon show. We're broadcasting live from Dunfanaghy Golf Club. It is for the Ronald McDonald House Golf Classic. We're going to find out more about Ronald McDonald House, that and some live music, further guests. But first at 11 o'clock, let's get a news update, and it's over to Michaela Clark.
Thanks, Greg. Good morning. A United Nations-backed bodies confirmed there's a famine in Gaza City and the surrounding areas. The IPC comes to that conclusion when at least 20% of people suffer extreme food shortages, 1 in 3 children are acutely malnourished, and 2 out of every 10,000 are dying daily from starvation and disease. Israel rejects the findings, alleging it's based on false and biased information. It's been revealed children who required an assessment for disability needs in Donegal have not been seen within the legal time frame so far in 2025. Under the Disability Act, children are required to be assessed within 6 months. Donegal is one of 9 HSE regions in which this right has not been upheld to date this year. Over 65,000 Leaving Cert students are poring over their results, over 2,000 of them in Donegal. They've been available since 10 a.m. online and in school, while CAO offers will be issued next week. This year's results are down due to grade deflation, with top grades down by around 2%. A fire at a derelict building in Strabane last night is being treated as arson. The blaze broke out at the former Milltown School on Milltown Road shortly before 10 to 11. Police remain at the scene this morning. The chair of the Donegal branch of the Irish Hotels Federation says ever-rising costs businesses have had to sustain over the past 36 months have made business exceptionally tough. Hoteliers have repeatedly called for the restoration of the 9% VAT rate. Today, the IHF says reducing it would help protect over 270,000 jobs across the country. There's renewed calls for additional litter wardens and greater enforcement of fines for dog fouling in Donegal. Vision Ireland figures published this week show that 0 fines for dog fouling were issued by Donegal County Council last year. Councillor John Hamish O'Farrell says the figures clearly show more staff are needed to crack down on the issue. And a public meeting on the campaign for justice for the large illegal dump in Mowboy Dairy is being held next week. Earlier this year, 2 company directors were jailed for their role in what is the largest illegal dump known in Northern Ireland. The North's Agriculture and Environment Minister, Andrew Muir, estimates that it could cost up to £700 million to remediate the site. Those are the latest headlines. We'll be back with an update again at 12 noon.
Question: how can you save big time on back-to-school breakfast items? Answer: simple. Just pop into Aldi. There's a whole range of delicious and filling breakfast items to choose from. Like original Irish porridge oats for $1.19 and pure squeezy honey for just $1.69. Plus, our Gronias pancakes are just $1.19. Full marks, Aldi. Good food, good mood. From Aldi, while stocks last.
Okay, you're very welcome back to the 9 till noon show here in Highland Radio with me, Greg Hughes. We are live from the beautiful Dunfanaghy Golf Club. It's for the Ronald McDonald House Golf Classic, and it's all about Ronald McDonald House. And I'm joined by Louise Quayle, who's head of development with Ronald McDonald House. Louise, lovely to see you.
Thank you very much for having us.
So, talk to us about Ronald McDonald House and the work that it does.
So the Ronald McDonald House, we opened our doors in 2004 and we're located on the grounds of CHI in Crumlin. We look after 20 families every night. Since opening our doors in 2004, we've looked after over 5,300 families. 388 of those have been specifically from County Donegal, to make it very relevant to today.
Okay.
So Victor here beside me, he is a major champion of the work that we do. And it is himself that very kindly organised this golf classic to support the Ronald McDonald House.
In terms of the rooms that you're able to provide, have you the capacity to meet all demands at this point?
Unfortunately not, no. So as I said, we look after 20 families every night, and on a weekly basis we have to manage that very tightly, as there is a very lengthy waiting list. That could be anywhere from 10 to 20. We've seen it as large as 28 families on our waiting list at any one point. So building a new 52-bedroom house at the new Children's Hospital is going to open up a world of opportunity for us in order to serve and look after so many more families that desperately need it, actually.
What's the breakdown of funding for a project like that in terms of, I don't know, corporate funding, fundraising, etc.?
So
I'm not looking for actual figures,
no.
But you just get a sense of the situation.
For the new house,
yeah.
So the this capital project, it's been in the making for well over 10 years, and it is a mix of all sorts of funding. We have never received government funding before, but because of the scale of this project, we are in partnership with the government and the HSE on this one. But that's only a part of it. The others is made up through major donors, individuals, all the amazing customers in McDonald's, and equally we have a lot of amazing corporate partners.
Ronald McDonald House is one of those organisations, isn't it, whereby it's important we talk about it now to get the word out there, but not everybody knows about it, but then something happens in someone's life and all of a sudden it becomes one of the most important things in their life at that time. It's one of those strange...
I think charity just naturally is in that space. Charity, to me, is one of those things. It's so personal, and you don't need to know about it until the day you need it, and then the day you need it, you're so glad that it exists and it is there. So for our families, a lot of people don't need to know about the Ronald McDonald House, but when they arrive in the back of an ambulance at 12 o'clock at night and they're thrown into a world of unknown, and a lot of our families are there for a very long period of time, and they don't just have one sick child. So we don't say, a family with a sick child is not a sick. It's not just a sick child, it is a sick family, and it affects the whole family. And the whole house is about keeping that family together as much as possible.
I want to, before I talk to our other in-studio guest here in a moment, I want to go to Gareth Nee, a Donegal man, of course, who's joining us remotely. Gareth, good morning to you. Thank you so much for your time. You're going to have to unmute for me, Gareth. My apologies, just so we can hear you. Right, just while he's doing that. It's not always as easy. It's fiddly enough on a phone on unmuting. But I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to send you a little message that might make it a little bit easier. As I say, Gareth Nee is going to be joining us very, very shortly indeed. If you've anything you wish to say, by the way, in relation to Ronald McDonald House, please get in touch with us. 086 60 25,000 is the details. Gareth, you are there now. Good morning to you.
Yes. Good morning, Greg. How's it going?
It was a team effort, my friend.
Sorry?
It was a team effort to get you unmuted.
Yes. Complicated business, that.
Yeah, come here. I've spoken to you before, of course, and Gareth. Yeah. Ronald McDonald House will forever have, I was going to say a place in your heart, but a place in your family.
Oh, absolutely. Like in a place in Noah's heart for sure. But yeah, you were just talking about, the stresses of families going down to the Crumlin Hospital, and it was such a super stressful time. But I have to say, and I said to you before on the radio station, that once we entered the Ronald McDonald House, they just took away so much, the vast majority of that stress, and that stresses of staying somewhere and looking after us and being so close to Noah, like a 3-4 minute walk away, It was a real lift for us,
Because you uproot effectively, don't you? I mean, it depends on the age demographic of the family, but for a lot of us, it would be effectively an uproot for an unknown period of time.
Yeah, because I think it was 6-7 weeks at a time, and maybe a wee bit longer so the last time. But I have another 4 kids as well, so 5 altogether. So it was a pretty stressful time regarding even the kind of logistics of what we do with the rest of the kids. Sometimes we were split up, sometimes we were together, and the Ronald McDonald were very good, as much as humanly possible. They got us together as quite often,
Because you have to look after yourselves to look after Noah, or to be there for Noah, and that's what this allowed for. It gave, you as parents a bit of a break. I know the kids, because we talked about it before, they've some great memories, and it kind of seems a little bit ironic, but you know what? There's nothing wrong with it either. They were able to sort of build their own more positive experiences at a very difficult time.
They loved the Ronald McDonald House, and even, the months and even a year or two after it, some of my kids still ask to go down to the Ronald McDonald House, and that just kind of shows you the kind of environment that they provide. My kids loved it, and they had nothing but positive memories of it. There was no stress associated with it for my other 4 kids, whereas me and Natty, obviously, we knew the other side, over by the hospital, but my kids absolutely loved it, and they missed it, and they keep asking to go back.
The one thing too that I was going to say the world falls apart, but it must feel like that for a time. And then these organisations, and I think I did reference this with you the last time, Gareth, we spoke, but, these organisations kick in. In this case, it's Ronald McDonald House, but for other families, it's been other charities that are just there. It's like, very sadly, if you lose someone abroad, there are amazing organisations like the Kevin Bell Trust that all of a sudden become apparent in your life, and they know what to do, and they make things different. It's astonishing. A lot of it's volunteer work as well. It's astonishing that, we're there for each other often, Gareth, when we need it.
Yeah, because obviously, when we first heard about Noah's condition, and, I think obviously everything was medical orientated. And then when we did go down after he was born, he obviously had to get the helicopter down to Crumlin, but it kind of was only dawned on us at that stage. And like, what about staying? What about accommodation? What about the kids? What about everything? Like, and it was one of the nurses on the ward, I think, and she was obviously a liaison officer. I can't remember her name now, unfortunately, but she opened up the whole world of Ronald McDonald House to us. Like, and I don't think I ever actually heard of it before. And because as you say, we're quite kind of, protected from that unless we're thrown into the mix of a condition for a child or something like that.
And I think I've lost you there again. Just Gareth, finally, how's everybody now?
I'm sorry?
How's everybody now?
Oh, yeah, they're great. Like, Noah's doing swimming lessons at the minute, like, which he's loving, like, and he's going into first class now the week after next up in Lurgy Brack. And they're really good, as I said to you before. They're really good with him, and they look out for him, like, and he's playing a bit of football with Letterkenny Rovers.
All right, not so bad.
Like,
Things are
and
good.
it's great because, when you look back at when, his first surgery, the first week and then 3 months and then it was 3.5 for the third surgery. To play football a wee bit or to go swimming lessons, these things were like, so far removed from our kind of thought process. But it's lovely to see that he's leading quite a good, normal enough life,
Brilliant, okay. Listen, we need a bit of good news. Thanks very much for that, Gareth. Love to the family. It's always a pleasure to speak to you. Thank you so very much indeed. Victor Byrne is the training manager with McDonald's, Letterkenny. Victor, you work there, but this was an easy buy-in for you as well, given the amazing work the Ronald McDonald House does.
Yeah, well, Greg, thanks for your time again, and thanks for doing this today. I really appreciate what Highland Radio have done in regards to supporting this. You had myself and Garrett and it was Sean on to launch this, and it was just, since that, it's just been so easy to do it. And obviously without the sponsors of today's event, like yourselves and iMotors, and there's a list there. There's a lot more. I don't want to forget anybody.
Well, I'll tell you, if you don't want to forget anyone, don't mention anyone.
Exactly.
Because there is an awful lot of people that have come together to support this. Yeah. And I think that's really a testimony to the people that you've reached out for, but also their generosity, be it in the media, be it in business. This is why, folks, it's so important to support your local businesses, because, when something like this happens and you go around and say, listen, can you sponsor this or can you support that? It's those local businesses that put their hands in their pockets, and the local authority as well. The local authority members have been forthcoming as well. So I think when you look at a sheet like this, it just goes to show how important this issue is and how good you are at reaching people as well. Credit to you.
Yeah, well, it was easy enough, but it's important to me because I've always known about Ronald McDonald House through work, and it's always been there, and we've always pushed it, and we used to do fun days and that, and then obviously they do the big golf in Dublin every year, and it was always my target to get to playing the golf, and I've played it in Dublin, and I've always said, and I told Louise one year, some years says I'll have you in Donegal with a golf classic.
And here we are.
And she laughed every year. And so when it was Sean met me, and we just put it together. And the support we got from not just the sponsors, but from Dunfanaghy Golf Club as well, have been really behind us here. Just getting behind us, and it's important. And today is about people enjoying themselves and having fun. And I know you've talked to the people from the golf club here. It's kind of a family atmosphere, some of them down here, and
it's chilled. It's a lot more chilled than a lot of the golf courses I've been to. And no shade. That's fine if that's their thing, but this is nice. I like it.
And it's just to make people feel welcome and to.
I didn't need to see your legs though.
Huh?
I didn't need to see your legs.
Oh well, I suppose that's true. If my wife's listening there, she warned me. She packed a pair of dresses. Shouldn't be wearing there, but anyway. It's
money messing. You look fantastic.
But what I will say is about like you alluded to there, and Louise did too. When it comes to charities, there's all charities for all different different things, and everybody's. It's a pity that we have to do some of it, but it's great that we have the opportunity to do it, And I know a lot of the families, that have used the house and have come back and speak tons about it,
Yeah.
And I'll let you finish on a funny one. I do a lot, in the background and bits and pieces like that. But this year I brought my daughter up to a concert in Dublin, and Louise has said to me, because we wanted to talk about the golf. She said, "Sure, come over, I'll be in Smithfield." And I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll go over." I forgot it was the day of the Smithfield tower drop. So it's 200 feet. So I get there, and she says, "Are you going to do the drop now?" And I kind of, "Well, I'm not sure." She says, no, we have a spot here. And I wasn't going to do it. And in fairness, my daughter, Grace, she encouraged me.
I think Grace is 16, isn't she?
She's 16 tomorrow, yes.
Tomorrow, so a big happy birthday to Grace. Is she here?
She's out there trying to sell raffle tickets for me out in the
stuff. That's the way
shop
I
there.
So. But you mentioned the Dublin Golf Classic. There's qualification for that through this as well, too.
Yeah, well, to thank Louise for that.
Which is a nice
It was a no-brainer for Louise when I asked her, is it okay if I say...
Okay.
She says, of course, so thank you for that, Louise.
Victor's brilliant, Louise, and, there's Victors scattered all around the country as well, isn't it? And they all come together, and fair play to you, getting on the road and supporting people in person as well. And it's just keep doing it, and I think the fact that it's so oversubscribed at the moment, really, it must be really difficult to try and manage accommodation for people when you don't have enough accommodation. So the sooner this new house is built, the better, because sadly, very, very sadly, but often there are happy endings, like we heard from Gareth, sadly people are always going to need Ronald McDonald House.
But as you say, it is a happy place, and actually I think obviously families come to us at a very stressful time, but it's supposed to end on a positive note. 80% of those families go home and their child is well and better, and they go home to start a new chapter in their lives.
Lovely.
And which is really, so when they're leaving the Ronald McDonald House, in the nicest sense possible, we say, we hope we never see you again.
Yes, it's one
but they're
of those.
always welcome back for a cup of tea.
But as we heard from Gareth's kids, they can't wait to get back. All right, listen, Victor, we might touch base again before the end of the show. I'm not sure, but Victor Byrne, training manager with McDonald's in Letterkenny, and the man behind this wonderful event on such a wonderful day too, Victor. That's one thing. As good as your planning is, you needed a bit of divine intervention on, but you got the weather.
Oh, absolutely. That's why my knees are so sore, Greg.
Yeah. I see your little blow-up thing out here. I haven't seen one person use it yet myself. It's like a blow-up dartboard. I'm the only one's used it.
I'd have a few, but we're going to catch them as they come back in, because they have to walk up that way. So we can. It's a bit of fun. We'll get you out, Greg. And,
well, I've been practicing, so no
that's
bother.
okay.
All right,
and
listen.
If you could beat Sean, you'd be doing well. So
I could beat him with my hand behind me back. All right, Victor Byrne, trading manager with McDonald's Letterkenny. He's referencing our CEO, Sean Quinn. He's out playing today. Decided that the best time to play golf was when we were on air, which is fine. That's perfectly fine, isn't it? I want to thank Gareth and as well, who joined us remotely, and Louise Quayle, who's head of development at Ronald McDonald House, heading into a busy time in terms of fundraising and planning and organisation and everything. It's to deliver a bigger and a better Ronald McDonald House close to the new Children's Hospital for when it is needed. Okay, we'll be back with more, including some live music here on the 9 till noon show, but let's take a quick break.
The 9 till noon show with the Northwest Truck Fest this Saturday and Sunday on Neil T. Blinny Road, Letterkenny. Gates open to the public at 4 on Saturday and 11 a.m. on Sunday, with proceeds to Cancer Care West.
At Dunn Stores, you can save more with your 10 off 50 or 5 off 25 vouchers. So if you dream of granola topped with fruit and yogurt, your dreams can become reality. And you'll have saved on the things you love. Or if you like the sound of the word sandwich, and we're talking grilled chicken, tomato, lettuce, and yes, a fried egg, you can save on each of the ingredients. Save more with your vouchers, in-store, online, or click and collect. Dunn Stores, always better value. Terms and conditions apply. Vouchers can be used on next grocery shop.
With back to school on the way, don't let blurry vision hold your child back. At Inish Eye Care, we've a great offer of a second pair of children's glasses free. Yes, buy one pair of glasses and get a second pair free. Book your child's eye test by calling into Inish Eye Care in Carndonagh Shopping Centre or at 14 Ardravan Square, Buncrana, and see the full range of glasses available. Some terms and conditions apply. Inish Eye Care, your vision, our focus.
At Northern Regional College, enrolment is open for courses starting this September. We have courses for all levels and interests, including engineering, science, hospitality and tourism, sport, health and social care, and much more. Apply online now and start your career journey at one of our local campuses at Coleraine, Matterfelt, Newton Abbey, or our new Ballymena campus. Visit nrc.ac.uk for more information. Go further, go higher with Northern Regional College.
Looking at the Kia Sportage? Call to Heron Auto Donegal, where for just €1,500 more than the diesel model, you can upgrade to a hybrid automatic with a bigger boot, spare wheel option and finance from just 3.9%. Drive smarter, drive further and drive with confidence with Heron Auto Donegal Town, your trusted Kia main dealer. Book your test drive today at Heron Auto or visit heronauto.ie.
Leisureland Redcastle, open every day all summer long. Perfect for family day trips. Offers excellent value for birthday party packages. For a memorable family experience this summer, visit Leisureland Redcastle. See leisurelandredcastle.ie for more details.
Highland Radio Time Checks brought to you by EirGrid, the operator and developer of Ireland's electricity grid. EirGrid, powering up communities, powering up Ireland. The time is...
Okay, the time now is, where's the clock? 11:21, and we've got very busy people in front of us. Amongst them, Claire and Jubal Williamson. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you getting on?
Good, thanks. Thank you for having us.
Good.
Thank you.
Jubal, tell us about your business.
We are a South African influenced restaurant based in Chrysler. So we do tapas-style plates, and everything is cooked over the fire.
It's proved incredibly popular, hasn't it?
Yeah, the support from the locals and everyone around has been great, and we've just ran with it, and the opportunity came up, and we just haven't stopped. So,
was it seen at all as anything of a risk? You know, I mean, sometimes people can have quite, underdeveloped palates. Let me put it to you like that.
Yeah, we thought that sometimes you have to take the risk, but. Thankfully, it's worked out for us, and people seem to enjoy it. We tried to have a nice, relaxing atmosphere, so that's kind of what we just tried to build on. So
yeah,
it's been good so far.
Yeah, Claire, your background is in tourism and hospitality, so you do research well done, I'm sure.
I went to University of Ulster, and in my placement year in America, that was where I met Jubal. And we lived together and worked together, and we were in the States for a while. And then Jubal came back to Ireland, and we went back to Cape Town then for a couple of years. And it's just like everybody, we've done a fair bit of travelling, Southeast Asia and Australia, etc. And we just always had it that we wanted to have a go at something. And we were always building on ideas and what we could do. And obviously, braai is a huge part of Jubal's culture in South Africa. So when the opportunity came up, we were like, you know what, we'll just give it a go. And touch wood, it's going good so far.
Yeah, and it's the type of sort of food offering too that people will travel for it. You know, the reputation goes beyond the townland, so to speak.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's just we've been, it's been unbelievable to hear where people have driven from.
Well, I'm going to be coming from Downings in the not too distant future. I'm trying to get it sorted out, but I can't wait to visit, just to taste the food.
Yeah, no, it's just, and whenever you break it down, I know sometimes when people see a word and they're not familiar to it, it can be frightening. But when you break it down, we're just taking food in its simplest form, and we're getting creative with it, and we're putting it over fire. And as Jubal says, we've a 56-seater restaurant. We've nice music, we've great staff, which is brilliant. And we're loving it so far.
Jubal, have you had to tone down any of the spicing?
At the start, we kind of, came in easy, but now we've kind of ramped it up again, and we have loads of flavors, and people seem to be enjoying it, and we keep adding more and more South African dishes, so people have kind of taken to it and embraced it.
And how would you, South Africa is a very big part of the world, right? But how would you define the food if you had to?
I would say it's very, 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 very vibrant. It's like a melting pot of cultures, because I'm from Cape Town, and back in the day, it was the halfway point from Europe and India and Malaysia. So it's a very big melting pot of flavors, spices, and loads of different influence. So we try and bring that over, and then of course the wines and stuff we use is brilliant, and
So another part of another element of the restaurant is that we wanted to really showcase South African wines, and we've really tried to push that, and we're growing the list and it's been lovely, even educating people on that as well. So now we're enjoying it.
Brilliant. Okay, well, continued success to the pair of you. It's very exciting, isn't it? And growing all the time. Fantastic. Brilliant reputation as well, too, which you're not given that. You have to earn that. and you're doing that fantastically. So thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much for having us.
Right, and continued success. Okay, you can make your way, and I'll move our other two guests into these seats, if that's okay. I just want to give a quick mention here. Hi, my name is Anne McBride, and I'd be grateful if you could pass on this message for your show from Dunfanaghy Golf Club regarding the Finn Coffee Dock in Port na Bla. The parents of all the wonderful young people involved in the Finn would like to say a big thank you to Johnny and Emma for their courage, determination to take on this venture, and there are no words to describe their kindness, support, and everyone involved. The world would certainly be a much happier place if there were more people like Johnny and Emma. Well, who is this Johnny? Is it the same Johnny McClintock I have before me? Good morning, Johnny.
It is. Very kind words from Anne, so thank you very much.
Talk to me about the Finn Coffee Shop. It's located, its ethos, and what have you.
The location is in the Shore Road in Port na Bla. It's actually outside our house, just over the Middle Beach. The ethos of it is that it's a not-for-profit social enterprise. And the idea behind it was that those children or young adults that have additional needs, my wife and I's belief was that those people want to work and have a hunger to work, and
they just need the opportunity,
and they're deserving of a purpose, and the opportunities just simply weren't there or aren't there in the locality because of the place where we live and the ebb and flow of businesses.
Daniel McBride is from Dunfanaghy, and this is your third summer, Daniel, working at the coffee shop.
Yes, Greg, my third summer working at the Finn Coffee Shop. I do enjoy working at the Finn. My role is I'm a waiter. I happily take orders from our great customers who have been loyal to us and who have come back to help make the Finn a great success.
Is one of the favourite parts meeting people?
Yes, for me it is, Greg. The social interaction with customers to find out what hot chocolates they would like, and would they like cream or marshmallows, or would they like...
I will have all of that, thank you. Is Johnny a good boss?
Yes, Johnny is. Johnny is a good boss.
Okay, good stuff.
To that answer is that Emma's a good boss. The enterprise is largely driven by Emma, my wife, and the backdrop to that is we have a daughter who's a little touch of cerebral palsy, and we wanted to get in front of that situation where she had a job to get up and go to.
Well, of course, and that means you're acutely aware of the fact that there aren't necessarily the openings there to the point where you had to create that opening yourself. I mean, we need to, I think, societally need to look at that.
Well, we can collectively point a finger and say that the opportunities aren't there, but we also have the gift of getting in front of it by doing it ourselves. Rather than expect something to happen, go out and make it happen.
And the coffee shop is open 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. summer hours, is it? Or
10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Wednesdays to Sundays, but we close this Sunday for the season.
Okay, right, okay. And it's been a good season?
Cracking. It's been good. What we've seen a lot of is repeat customers, and I think part of the ethos brings in customers to the coffee shop, but we still have to provide a good product.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Fundamentally, that will get you so far. You need a good product, don't you? Yeah.
Getting people in is one thing. Getting them coming in repeatedly is absolutely dependent on a good product, but also good service. I think people are, to an extent, they're understanding, but that only goes so far.
Yeah, of course, and Daniel is part of that good service, Daniel. You'll be sad to see the end of the season.
I will be, yes, I would.
Okay, but anyway.
I would have liked the season to have gone on further, But
roll on next summer.
Yeah, that's
it. Okay. 2026. Daniel McBride. Anyone you want to say hello to Daniel while you're on the radio?
My lovely mum who's at home. I hope she tuned in to listen.
I can guarantee you that your lovely mum is listening or watching. And if she missed it, she can watch back or listen back a little later on. So there's no excuses. Daniel McBride, thank you very much indeed. And fair play to you putting in a busy summer. And as well to Johnny McClintock, co-founder of the Finn Coffee Shop with his wife, Emma. So just tell us once again where the shop is, because people have until Sunday to get a cup of coffee.
Yeah, Shore Road, Portnablagh, and we're on the normal social media outlets as well.
Check them out. The Finn Valley. I'm just a pure habit. The Finn Coffee Shop. Go along, say hello to Johnny, to Emma, to Daniel, and all the rest of the crew there. Okay, we'll be back with more after a break.
Watch the show live now on YouTube, Facebook, and at highlandradio.com.
The 9 till noon show with the Northwest Truck Fest, taking place this Saturday and Sunday on Neil T. Blinley Road, Letterkenny. Enjoy live music both days, family fun, the spectacular truck convoy, and so much more.
A positive, A negative, B positive, B negative, O positive, O negative, AB positive, AB negative, A positive, A negative, B positive, B negative, O positive, O negative, A positive, A negative, O positive, O negative.
Ireland's supply of blood types is running critically low. So please, if you're a regular donor and we've texted you, call to make an appointment. Or if it's your first time, register now at giveblood.ie, because we count on you.
Getting your first electric car is like meeting your partner's family for the first time. Nerves are normal. You were stressed about awkward silence with her dad. Now you chat for hours about sport. You worried her mum wouldn't like you. Now she likes you better than her own son. Likewise, once you experience how great an EV can be, you'll never look back, especially if it's a Skoda. Order your electric Enyaq or Elrock today.
Skoda.
Your local Skoda dealer is DMG Motors, Clar Road, Donegal Town. Telephone 074 9721 396.
From home and car to farm, commercial and public liability, at Hickey Clark and Langan, they've got you covered for insurance. They shop around all the leading insurers to make sure you get a great deal. If you're looking for a competitive quote, it's easier than you think. Call 9126688 or call into the office at Ballymacool, Letterkenny. Hickey Clark and Langan, the local name you can trust, is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
The Northwest Truck Fest takes place this Saturday and Sunday on Neil T. Blinley Road, Letterkenny, featuring trucks from all over Ireland and a truck convoy through Letterkenny Main Street on Sunday at 5. This ad is sponsored by K&F Superwools, 9139043.
The countdown is on. Only 20 places remain on our trip to Salou this September. Join us for 7 nights, dinner, bed and breakfast, plus an all-star music lineup. Enjoy all this whilst the sun shines. Book today by contacting Country Music Tours on 074 9119 955 or email info@countrymusictours.ie. We'll see you in Salou.
Yes, indeed. Okay, it's 11:34 here on the 9 till noon show. We're joined in our studio here at the Dunfanaghy Golf Club by Jim Livingston, Bridey Gallagher's son. Good morning to you, Jim.
Good morning, Greg. It's lovely to be with you.
And we're talking ahead of a very exciting event coming up on Sunday.
Well, it's all part of the Culture Week, and it finishes on Sunday. And there's a celebration of Bridey Gallagher in the workhouse in Dunfanaghy. I'll be giving a presentation with photographs and music about Bridey about 5 o'clock, but it's on all afternoon, so it's been a wonderful week to celebrate the culture of Donegal.
And what a wonderful person to be able to speak about your own mum, the girl from Donegal.
Absolutely, I'm extremely proud of her. I mean, she's synonymous with Donegal as a county. The BBC described her as Ireland's first pop star, and it's true actually. In the late 50s, early 60s, there was nobody as popular as Bridey Gallagher. And in fact, my favourite memory is when she appeared in 1959 in the Royal Albert Hall in London to an audience of 7,500. And people don't believe me, and they say, "Oh, that's ridiculous." I mean, Frank Sinatra, they've all been there. And they said, yes, but what you didn't realise is that London Council changed the fire regulations so that the seating capacity of the Royal Albert Hall is now 5,000. So Bridey Gallagher's record cannot be beaten.
Which is great. And what's extra remarkable about that too is this is in a completely different era. I mean, nowadays, you know, people can build up their profile using social media. They can put their videos up. I mean, for a lady like your mum, it's seeing the white in people's eyes. I know we have records, don't get me wrong, and I don't know how easy it would have been for the likes of your mum to get on radio, but you know what I mean? It was old school grind to get as popular as she became.
Absolutely. I mean, it was hard grind, touring non-stop, and she was the first Irish artist to start touring regularly in the United States. And that was actually the key to her success.
Which is trailblazing.
Yes, it really is.
That's what it is. You have to call it what it is.
And the point being that if you speak to people who were living in the United States at that time, no other Irish artists were touring America, but Bridey was. So Bridey became their part of being a little bit at home, and at a time when most immigrants couldn't afford to go home. So that was that international popularity that really spurred her on. And to this day, even though her records generally in the UK or Ireland we'd be still selling at a modest rate, I still get the royalty returns. And only last month I discovered that 3 albums were sold in Vietnam. And I'm still trying to get my head around that. Who in Vietnam is buying Bridey Gallagher songs?
If you're listening in Vietnam and you're bored. When she came home after that success, you know, the record-breaking show in London, touring America, what was the buzz about her? Did she keep her feet on the ground? Can you say her to son Jim? Is there any stories there? Or was she always the girl from Donegal?
When she walked in the door, it wasn't, ta-da, the star has arrived. It was, did you do that homework?
But you know what? We here in Donegal, if you ever come back to this county with any notions of yourself, we don't belong dragging you down to ground, do we?
Oh, she was a Donegal woman, and that was it. And there's nowhere more that she loved to visit. While she lived in Belfast, she was up here all the time to see her sisters and her mum and dad while they were alive. But it was, and in fact, it was funny because in the 50s and 60s, she did a lot of work with the BBC, and they got a lot of voice training. So her accent became very proper.
Yeah. We saw that with Gay Byrne too. For example, he went through voice training and all.
Yeah, so they spoke very clear diction. I can tell you for a certain that when I was driving her up here, even when in her 80s, and we crossed the border, all of a sudden was, what a grand day that is. Yeah. She became a Donegal woman again.
Your son Peter's here. Do you like Granny's music, Peter?
I do, yes.
What's your favourite song?
The Homes at Donegal.
Of course it is.
Not only that, I also play the accordion as well.
Oh, very good. That's not an easy instrument to play.
No. I love the sound of the accordion. And
Peter's partially sighted.
Okay. You looking forward to Sunday? Are you looking forward to Sunday, Peter?
Yes, because I'm also playing at the event as well. I'm going to be playing the accordion.
That was supposed to be a surprise, Peter.
Yeah, but no one's listening. It's all right. Say nothing. By the way, when Peter starts playing on Sunday, everyone go, what? What? No one told us about this. Come here. It's brilliant that you're keeping the musical legacy going, Peter. Fair play to you. Tell us about Sunday. Tickets are still available. You have to book because it's...
you have to book.
It's going to be oversubscribed potentially.
It's limited space, obviously. Yeah. But as far as I've heard, it's... proving to be very popular.
Brilliant.
There'll also be some of her dresses on display because they're held. I donated all her dresses to the Anne Greenan Theatre in Letterkenny, so they will be displaying some of the dresses and And there'll also be some musicians there performing some of her songs. You know.
Yeah, and by the way, is your book still in print, Jim? I know you did write a book,
Yes.
but it gives a really interesting insight, not into unlike the stuff that we talked of, but with all the highs, sometimes there come lows.
Yeah.
So that book is out there if people are interested, if
book's
they weren't
still-
aware of it.
Absolutely. I will have some copies available on Sunday.
On Sunday, well,
Yeah.
there you go. Another excuse to go. So that's the Workhouse proudly presenting Sunday, the 24th of August at 5 p.m. a celebration of Bridey Gallagher, the girl from Donegal, and Jim Livingston, her own son, will be there, of course, as will her grandson Peter playing. He's not going to be playing the accordion, so don't turn up for that. All right. But if he did, it'd be some surprise. All right, go ahead.
The homes of Donegal.
All right. Peter, listen, thanks so much for having a quick chat with us.
No
Jim,
problem.
lovely to chat to you as well, and what an easy thing to talk about, isn't it, your mum? Okay, back with more,
Thank
including some live music here after the break.
The 9 till noon show with the Northwest Truck Fest this Saturday and Sunday on Neil T. Blinny Road, Letterkenny. Gates open to the public at 4 on Saturday and 11 a.m. on Sunday, with proceeds to Cancer Care West.
Join us for Alzheimer's Memory Walk, supported by Aviva, taking place on Sunday, September the 21st. Let's walk together for the 64,000 people living with dementia across Ireland. Register now for your pack and find a walk near you at memorywalk.ie or call 01 207 3800. Together we walk. Together we remember.
Meet James. He made big savings on his car insurance when he made the switch to Outsurance.
Hi, I'm James. It's true. I saved €301 when I made the switch. And with the Out bonus, I know I'll get 10% of my premiums back in cash after 3 years claims free.
Sounds great. For a competitive car insurance quote like James's, call 1-800-600-400 or visit outsurance.ie. Real people, unreal savings. Outsurance. You always get something out. Based on a like-for-like policy comparison, the customer received a gratuity for their participation. Out bonus calculated less taxes and levies. Acceptance criteria, terms and conditions apply. Car and home insurance is underwritten by Outsurance DAC. Outsurance DAC, trading as Outsurance, is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
Elvis Spectacular live at Jackson's Hotel Friday, September 26th. Europe's top Elvis tribute returns to Ballybuffet with powerhouse vocals, 9-piece TCP band and the Sweet Sensations. Enjoy iconic hits, dazzling costumes and a Las Vegas experience for just €25. Book at jacksonshotel.ie for an unforgettable night of Elvis magic.
Get top label clothing and footwear for less in the big summer sale now on at Watson Menswear. A great range of shirts, polos and t-shirts at half price. Get 2 denims for €70. Footwear with up to 50% off, and there's 20% off brands like Penguin, Superdry, Tommy Bow and Sixth Sense. All in the big summer sale now on at Watson Menswear. Open 7 days a week on Main Street, Letterkenny, and at watsonmenswear.com.
It's back. 3 Hail Marys on Grainon, Letterkenny. Friday, September 5th and Saturday 6th. Unmissable. See on grainon.com.
Highland Radio weather updates with McElhinney's. Get back to school sorted with all the essentials from school jumpers to shoes. Visit our kidswear department in store or shop online at mcelhinneys.com today.
Okay, you're very welcome back to the programme. We're broadcasting live here from Dunfanaghy Golf Club. It's part of their Ronald McDonald House Golf Classic. Have a look out there, Shannon. It's beautiful. We've got some live music for you now. We have Paul Ward and his sons. Not all your sons. Aidan Ward, Mark Ward. Okay, both your sons. Paul, talk to us about what you're up to this weather.
We're doing very busy this weather, doing a lot of gigging. I do solo work as well, and the Humble Earthworm band that this is. We're quite busy this weather, summertime, and everybody's enjoying themselves, so music's a big part of that.
Introduce the band to us, Paul.
Okay, over here on lead guitars, my son Mark.
Is that not where you do something fancy on the lead guitar, Mark, no?
That's where he should do something fancy. Mark's... we have Mark's just getting his leaving cert results, so we still don't know yet. He hasn't checked. I just told him.
A brief prediction. What do you think? How do you think you're going to do?
It's not looking very good.
Excellent. I like your positivity. Don't worry, you've always got the music to fall back on. And who else is playing with you?
This is Stephen on the drums, Stephen Dunfanaghy. He's our percussionist and drummer. And then my other son, Aidan, here is standing in for Sandra, my sister, today on bass.
You didn't do your leaving cert yesterday?
No, I did that a long time ago.
All right, listen, we are going to hear two songs from the Humble Earthworms. We had to get them in at this time of the day because they're booked out every other time of the day. And what are we going to do? Land Down Under first? All right, this is Paul Ward and Mark and Aidan and Stephen, and this is their track, Land Down Under. All right, that one cleared the cobwebs, it has to be said. Paul, I mean, you said flat out, right? Everyone knows the Humble Earthworms. What's the breakdown of your gigs like between, I suppose, you know, the private gigs, public gigs, and that kind of stuff?
Well, there's a lot of equal amount. We do weddings, we do parties, we do gigs and bars. We have a gig coming up in the Jazz and Blues Festival here shortly on the 14th, Sunday the 14th in the Oyster. So we're really looking forward to that. That's a great. Dunfanaghy puts on a great show, and we're proud to be part of that.
Listen, thank you so much for calling in and playing some music for us, of course. They've got the full set, well, not the full setup, but a big setup here for us, and we really do appreciate it. And Paul, take it away. We're going to have one more.
Okay.
Okay, that was the amazing Humble Earthworms. Mark, good luck with the exams today. I'm sure it's going to be fine. Lol. I'm only messing. I'm sure it will. Thanks so very much for that, Paul, Mark, Aidan. What a talented family. And Stephen Devaney doing an amazing job there on drums, stroke. You can turn that camera off now. I'm finished talking to them, Shannon. Come on over here. You've got work to do. Thanks very much for that. All right, just to remind you, by the way, that coming up in the not too distant future, John Breslin's going to be doing a draw for €2,500. It's part of Highland Radio's mega summer draw. There's $2,500 this Friday, $2,500 next Friday, $2,500 the following Friday, and then $10,000 on that same last Friday of that draw. If you want to be in all four draws, you need to get in touch with us right now. 074 91 25,000. We'll process your tickets, get your name in that draw drum, or if you prefer, go onto our website. It's probably handier. 074. Go onto our website, highlandradio.com. Maybe phone numbers for websites wouldn't be a bad idea. Shannon, squeezing you in as always. Shannon Wilkins tries every Friday to keep me somewhat relevant in the world of social media. What is trending? What's happening? What are we talking about? Over to you, Shannon.
So I myself am on an EP buzz, so my For You page
Electric
has
Picnic,
turned into
by the
Electric
way.
Picnic.
Yeah.
Yes.
When is that?
It is starting next Friday, but you can go and set up your gear on the Thursday.
When are you going? Because you're going.
Yeah, I'm going to go down on the Thursday, get the tent set up. You need to buy these wee trolleys and everything because you can't haul all your stuff in. Wellies, all that gear.
And who's playing?
So we have got Hosier.
Yes.
We've got Chapel Roan.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have got Kneecap, Kings of Leon.
Yeah. Kings of Leon, okay.
Kings of Leon.
It's every other one I'm interested in. Chapel Roan, you can have Kneecap if you wish. Kings of Leon, fantastic. Who else?
You know what? My brain is just completely overloaded. Sam Fender, exactly.
Well, Sam
17
Fender,
going
he's playing
under.
in Belfast, and that's a gig I'd actually go to. He's doing a full show. He's brilliant. He is absolutely fantastic. So he's playing, and very exciting. So who are you most looking forward to seeing as a young and relevant person?
I've seen Kneecap twice now, so I'm excited to see them for the third time because I just think they have this real energy about them. And Hosier is also an amazing performer. Like, he kind of gets you in the feels, even just with the music. So.
And there is some talk of Hosier's Take Me to Church, isn't it? And all that, isn't it? No, it is, yeah. Of course, Take Me to Church, and of course the other one that was out recently. Okay, so are you going to be able to join us next Friday live from Electric Picnic?
I am going to try my best.
If you
so
get your tent
hopefully
set up
I'll
on
have
Thursday.
the camera out and everything. I don't know whereabouts I'll be. Maybe it'll be a mucky field, but there'll be something or someone tipping about.
Yeah, I think I'd feel extra relevant and young if I was able to speak to you from Electric Picnic next Friday.
So it'll be exciting.
Okay, good stuff. Listen, thanks for that. We look forward to it, and we look forward to your reports about Electric Picnic. Okay, that's next week. But that's where we kind of have to leave it. In fact, have to leave it on the show today. Thank you so much to everyone here at the Dunfanaghy Golf Club who've been so hospitable, and it genuinely feels like a very open, fun and inclusive golf club. And to all of the teams that have entered the Classic today, raising money for Ronald McDonald House, which is looking to expand and increase capacity. And we're going to have one final word, are we? Sit down there. If you've got something to say, you've got 30 seconds. Victor, what did you want to say? This better be good.
Had to come in with this. We had a team teed off at 7 a.m. this morning.
Yes, is that them bucks over there?
No, the two boys outside, and the other two have had to go straight to work. But one of them, Sean Gallagher, had a hole-in-one on the 9th this morning. So
is he not
great
supposed
things
to be
happening.
Is he not supposed to be in here buying everyone a drink?
Well, he'll be back later for the presentation, so I'm sure he will.
Like so, will you?
I'll text you to have a live. So well done to Sean Gallagher from Amazona in town there in Letterkenny.
Well done.
So 7 a.m. this morning. So
they
well
don't
done.
come around very often.
Had to get that out there.
Super stuff. Thank you, and thanks for hosting us. Thanks to Caroline O, who researched and produced. Shannon Wilkins, a great help, and of course Mark Gallagher keeping us on the air, and everyone back at base. Have a great weekend. We'll be back with you Monday morning at 9, all being well. But stay tuned. John Breslin